Noon, ladies and gentlemen and ladies. Good afternoon. I am Styrofoam Rob. This is Cups and the Gang live from the motherfucking hot box. It
Hey,
is
you
Juneteenth,
guys.
man. It is Juneteenth lunchbox special.
Happy Emancipation Day.
You know I got the gang with me, my dog on the soundboards, the ones and twos, El Residente, saying
Hey, you
Jose
guys.
representing live on the motherfucking ones and twos. You know I got my dog one half of sports reports as order 2-5. Mike Will representing live in the building. You know I got my dog Bleed Blue for the shoe. Nap Nation, Lethal the Troller, what it do? Last but not least, my dog, the radical one, Cactus Jack, DJ,
Pause.
Radical Jack in the motherfucking building. What is going on, my brother?
Can y'all hear me?
Yes,
Yes,
black
we
man.
Okay.
can.
Can
Happy
y'all hear me?
Juneteenth, black man.
Happy Juneteenth, black men.
Woo.
Yes,
Can y'all hear
sir.
me?
Happy
You know what I'm
Yeah, we can
Emancipation
hear
saying?
you.
y'all.
We can hear you.
All right, bet.
You ain't the only one with a soundboard.
Nigga, I
You
got
ain't the
one.
only one.
Oh,
Bro, I got the
Okay.
voice change. You can't just voice change me.
All I got to say to that, I guess, is yeet.
We- look. You know what it is.
Do not do
You know what
crimes
it
around
is.
me.
You know what it is. Yeet
is
Nation.
that what y'all were doing on the pre-pod? Just exchanging deep voices? Just
No.
exchange.
That's
I
crazy
Oh,
was
work.
I was
That's
on the
crazy
phone.
oh.
work.
I was actually walking.
Exchanging deep
Hey,
voices
can
is
Halliburton
crazy
do
work,
that?
bro.
Can Halliburton do that?
That's
What,
tough, bro.
dunk?
Shout
That's
out to
not
superstar
nice.
Halliburton.
Can
That's
he do
not
But
that?
nice.
Can
Yeah.
he shoot a jumper?
before we get to the finals, because I know y'all itching to talk about that shit. Before we get to the
Yeah.
finals, man, there has been an interesting conversation that I feel like might be potentially, I don't want to say overshadowing, but it's like they're trying to look for anything to take attention away from basketball these
They
days,
really
right?
are. They really are.
And there is one of the more prominent voices of basketball. I'm gonna admit I haven't listened to the full take, but I guess I kind of got the gist of it because it's like if you hear a headline from Braun, you can probably guess what he's about to say with it.
Mm.
But like he said, you know what I'm saying, that ring culture, he doesn't respect ring culture in the league today. And I want to get your guys' opinion specifically on that, not about taking attention away from the game right now. We can talk about that a little later. But as far as right now, what do y'all feel about his take specifically?
What is ring
Well,
culture at this point? In
Ring
today's
culture is
NBA,
you. That's what
what
ring
is ring
culture
culture?
is. You're the leader of ring culture. Like ring culture is your career, your accomplishments. Nothing you do matters if you don't have a trophy, and that's absolutely unequivocally untrue.
Facts.
Is that what he said though? Because like I said, I haven't listened. Matter of fact,
I
I'm
mean,
gonna go
he
listen to it
said
real
as
quick.
eloquently as I said it.
Yeah, I've never listened to the take itself. That's why I went to a different direction with it.
hmm
I went off of Stephen A. Smith's take. I didn't go off of what
Never
LeBron
go off of
James
Stephen A.
said.
Smith's take. Ever.
So
Lesson number one.
Hmm.
Lesson number one.
Avoid
Never
referring
ever,
to Steve Take.
never in life, right? Because we're intelligent beings, right? And what we have to recognize, and this is something that I wish that we as a culture did a whole lot more, is go to primary sources.
yeah,
Secondary sources will always have somebody spin on the primary source.
Right?
And if especially if they're getting paid to have a spin on it, and that's political, that's sports, that's people who watch movies, that's relationship coaches. If somebody, even just in your personal life, if somebody said, "Yo, this person said this thing to me, and this is what I feel about what they said," I stop listening immediately. Because what LeBron actually said was he was talking about the idea of ring culture being the predominant conversation surrounding someone's greatness. He wasn't talking about himself.
Hmm.
There's no point. And so what Stephen A did was instead of reacting to what LeBron was talking about, which was how the media minimizes any season that you don't win a ring means nothing to the media, especially in the NBA. They want to drive every conversation around, oh, you have X amount of rings, and then they immediately want to do, how does this compare all time? We can't just enjoy a season for what it is. Somebody can't just have a great season and have an amazing season. They were literally having a conversation the other day about whether or not Giannis Antetokounmpo is an underachiever if he only wins 2 rings, as if his entire career and everything that he's done means nothing if he doesn't win a ring. Like, that's crazy. And that's what LeBron was talking about. He
So-
wasn't talking about if, like, because LeBron did, because what Stephen A did was he said, well, if rings don't matter, LeBron never said rings don't matter. LeBron absolutely wanted to win rings. That's
So?
why he made the moves that he's made in his career. He knows, because he knows in his life, he can't be seen a certain way by the masses if he doesn't have the hardware to go with his accomplishments. He wasn't having that
Correct. And that's the
conversation.
take that I want.
What he was having a conversation about is because of the way the media discusses rings, nothing else matters. So you'll have people that will say, and I'll bring it, we're going to NBA Finals now, right? These two teams, neither of them have won a championship in our lifetimes. The Thunder do not have a championship as the Thunder. They have a championship in 73 as the San Antonio.
1978, yeah.
78 as the Supersonics.
Both
They-
teams producing
right?
ring cultures. This is
Neither-
like two
not-
ring culture teams right now.
No, they're not.
You don't think so?
No,
No.
they're being hurt by ring culture because you have two teams that have whose stars were not the star players on other ring teams. So you have Pascal Siakam that's won a ring. You have Alex Caruso that's won a ring. Those are two people. Neither of them were the star on the teams that won rings, right? You have two franchises that are not known for being in the championships and don't have large followings because, again, ring culture. What teams were the most popular teams in the 90s? The Chicago Bulls. What teams are the most popular in the 2000s? The Los Angeles Lakers. What teams are most popular during the early Bron? The Heat. And so, like, we've seen that happen over and over and over again, and it's because the media. It started with Bron can't be as good as Jordan because, and then every conversation after that became just a comparison to Michael Jordan. 6 rings became the most important thing in the whole world. But we don't
Yeah.
ever talk about the people with 7 rings or
Yeah,
the people with
like if
11
we-
rings.
If we
Well, let me-
if we did that, sorry, if we did
Like,
that,
go
if
over
we
it.
did that psychiatry ink block game where they show you the picture and you say what you see, you go LeBron James 4 and 6.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? It's not MVPs, it's not
Right.
great player, it's not GOAT or whatever. It's 4 and 6.
4 and 6. No other game he played that mattered. No other statistic matters. Only thing that matters is what he did in the finals, which is crazy. Because I remember one time we had a conversation about would you rather make it to the finals and lose or not make the playoffs at all? And most of the panel said they'd rather make it. They'd rather not make it.
Not make it to the
They'd
finals
rather
at
not
all.
make the
I
playoffs
was
at all,
one of those people.
which is crazy to me.
Right.
It's insane to me.
That's
But-
ring culture.
But that's ring culture. And so when we do that to the NBA, and now we say, okay, we have one of the lowest rated NBA finals of all time. Why is that? It's because the media has told us that it doesn't matter if we don't have people that are on the trajectory to be somewhere near Michael Jordan, LeBron James, or Kobe Bryant.
And the
And
crazy
that's
part about
crazy.
it, go ahead, Cups. My bad. I was
No,
talking
because
earlier. Go
I
ahead.
was just gonna you good because I was just gonna ask a side question. It's like something that Red said was interesting when he was talking about what LeBron had said when he was like he specific, like he wasn't saying anything about rings not mattering because of
He
course
never said
LeBron
that.
wanted to ring. Of course, LeBron wanted to win because he knew that he wouldn't be accepted by the masses if he didn't have the
Correct.
rings or accolades or whatever,
Correct.
whatever. Do you feel like, because we know football is a totally different sport because we know it's so reliant on so many other people, but we know basketball is smaller, is a smaller, you know what I'm saying? So it's easier for the singular stars to stand out. Do y'all feel like the players who don't have rings, of all the great players who don't have rings, are they amongst the best of the best? Like Barry Sanders, even though he doesn't have a championship, he's amongst the best of the best.
When we do our top 5 quarterbacks, almost all of us have Dan Marino in it.
I'm talking about the NBA though. The NBA,
No,
NBA
no.
players who don't
in
have
the NBA,
rings.
I would say in the NBA, I would say no. Like when you talk about top 5s and things along that nature, you usually hear your Jordans, your Kobe's, your Kareem Abdul-Jabbars, you know, Tim Duncans and people like that. So those guys not only have a championship, they have multiple championships.
Correct.
So the way that I personally look at it is that all these dudes are great, but when you're starting to talk about who's the very, very best, they all have an argument, but you have to find dividers because.
But I'm saying though, even if you take the rings away from the greatest,
I think
would
we
it
should make a
even
new
the
culture
would it even the playing field? Would, if you took the rings away from a KD or a Jason Tatum, would it even the playing field for Carmelo Anthony?
It could.
No.
It all depends,
They're,
it depends how you
because
look
they're
at it. 'cause I
still
don't see-
significantly
Yeah.
better than Carmelo.
Correct.
I think we should make a new culture. Instead of the rings, we should just do final MVP culture.
See,
So it
No,
doesn't
we
matter
can't
about
do
the
that
rings
either
anymore.
because then Cups will
have
call us
finals
haters all the time.
And you can't do Finals MVP culture.
What
because
happened to
there
winning
was no
culture?
Finals
What
MVP.
happened to just
Well,
There was
what
no
does
Finals
winning
MVP when
what
Russell
does
won.
winning mean? Because if you look across,
You said there's no
When Bill
final
Russell
MVP.
played.
What?
what like
Yeah, but we know that he would be.
what
it,
if
you know,
like winning?
Didn't he have like
Yeah,
honorary
it's
ones?
named
Like,
after
didn't they
him.
honorary?
Well, the
Yeah, that's
problem
what I'm
is
saying,
that
so-
when you say things like winning culture, we have to define what winning
What
means.
is winning? Right.
You know, because to me,
Yeah, because you can have a winning
and I think Rez,
season.
you know,
Yeah.
as well. Like if you make it to the finals, that's a win. Even if you lose, the ultimate
That-
goal is to win the
It's
championship.
to win a championship.
But
is
no
it
matter
isn't
what sport,
isn't
you're
winning
talking
and
about,
enough is playoffs? Isn't playoffs a standard of like a line for winning when we talk about
I think
like if you
that
consistently
in
in
my
the
opinion,
playoffs?
only speaking for myself, for myself,
Mhm.
that's a metric that you have to use independently on each team.
Yeah.
Because like what Oklahoma City did this year, anything less than the finals, I'm not going to say it was a failure, but it would have been a disappointment.
Well,
You know what I mean? But if you're talking about the
Well,
Memphis Grizzlies, nobody expected the Grizzlies to make the finals. You know what I mean? So them making the playoffs could be considered a win. It just depends on your perspective.
Yeah.
I think winning culture is definitely defined by simply winning because, like, for instance, to me, James Harden shouldn't be on anybody's GOAT list, greatest of anything list because he's a loser. Every time he gets to the playoffs, James Harden shows
Right,
you who
but
he
that's
really
the
is.
playoffs. If he was
So-
doing that in the finals, it'd be a different conversation. He's doing that in the first and second round of the playoffs, dog.
Right, which means to me, like, he's
Yeah,
totally a
yeah,
loser.
no.
You know what I mean? Like,
Well, I mean, if you
He's-
look at
he's-
Joel
he's just-
Embiid, right? You know, he's the only MVP to never play in the NBA
Another
finals. The only one.
and he should have never got an MVP in the first place.
should've-
He
he
cried
should've
for
won
it. And they
that
gave it to him.
No,
should've
he
won MVP 'cause
deserved
he-
the one the
yeah,
year
he
before. The one that
yeah.
he got was the makeup.
Right, it was the makeup.
And that's what happened to SGA this year. He should have been MVP last year. Jokic should have been MVP this year, but then you gave it to Joker last year, so
Well, next
you know
year's
you had to
Jaylen
make it
Brown,
up.
So.
But
that shit was
he's the
tough,
only
bro.
one. He's the only one, literally, that has never made the NBA Finals. Not that didn't make it the year he won the MVP, just never made it. Period.
At all. And at this point, I don't think he ever will.
I don't think he will either.
You talking about Harden?
No, Embiid we're talking about. No, because Harden made the one in OKC.
No, I was gonna say Harden winning.
Yeah. We're talking about Embiid.
Yeah, I don't think. Yeah,
And
at
so
this
that's
point, I don't
where,
think he
like I
ever will.
said, I think we have to define what winning means. But I think it depends on the team that you're talking about. Like the Knicks.
Is
the
Cleveland
first
a winning?
time
Is
the
Cleveland a winning culture right now? Would you
Yes.
consider
I
Cleveland?
mean, I ain't gonna say culture,
Yes,
but this
100%.
year was a win for them as a franchise. But
I just feel like
this is the first
well-
time the Knicks made the Eastern Conference Finals since the year 2000.
I know,
So I'm not
Rez.
going to call them a failure for doing something they haven't done in 25 years.
Right.
I put onions in my.
I mean, I hate
You
the
have
Knicks,
onions in
but
your
I'm
ramen?
just trying to be objective here.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I just
When I
feel
go to
like
Hot
because
Pot-
I mean,
when I go to
the-
Hot Pot, I put onions in my ramen. I go to Hot Pot.
I mean, I just feel
Trust
like
the process,
you know
doesn't work.
when you try and bring up you know the end of season accolades and the playoff records and stuff like that, it's like when you try and push back against ring culture, it's like you know we have to obviously dig deeper and stuff like that. But it's like I still feel like when we talk about specifically basketball, like even if you take the rings away, would it again? I mean, it's the same question as last time. Would it even a playing field for three people like Kyrie, Steph, and Dame? Does it make them any closer to each other or in the same
No.
ballpark?
I don't think it does.
That's
Well,
what
no,
I'm saying.
because
Though.
the
The
thing
best
is-
ones are the best
thing is,
ones,
the ring
and they
culture-
win.
Yeah. So
No, but there
And,
is
that, and
a-
that,
the
not even the
problem
end of the season though. But I'm saying just like looking at them, you know why they win.
I think
No,
there
they
are.
are the
certain-
best
I think
one
that there
because they're
are
winning.
certain players. I think that there
The
are certain
culture
players
thing
that
is-
applies to, because if you look at somebody like Isaiah Thomas, right? He got his 2 rings. He was the first little dude that I guess led a team in that way. But he was beating Jordan and Bird and Magic to get to his championships. So if I'm looking at somebody like Kyrie, I can't put him closer to Isaiah Thomas because you were always number 2. Check your own videos.
Well, I don't think that's the problem. I think when we do the ring thing, right? I think what the problem is people are just getting lazier
That's
and
the
lazier.
problem.
A lot of people just don't know. They don't know stats anymore.
And
Nobody wants to pull out
to
their
add to
ass.
that, not only do they not know stats, they don't watch games. They don't
Yeah, that
watch
too.
They
games.
play
So
play
there's no
solitaire,
eye-test
bro.
people also.
Dog, they don't watch games. And
They play solitaire. It's
They
crazy.
don't watch games, and then they come on TV and they talk about stuff. Like I can tell you, like I'm gonna take it off football, take it off basketball quick, bring it into football. I've watched Niners games where it was a close game all the way through, and it comes down to one or two plays, and I watch Sports Center or whatever it is, First Take or whatever, and everybody has the exact same take about the game, and it has nothing to do with the nuance of the game. And what that tells me is somebody handed out a sheet with a certain set of facts on it, and they use that certain set of facts to make their opinions. Just like people are reacting to a LeBron clip from a 1 hour podcast that none of them actually heard the words from. And they're all reacting to Stephen A. Smith's version of what LeBron is saying. LeBron was not talking about LeBron. LeBron wasn't talking about LeBron. LeBron was talking about the way the media has minimized. You said it perfectly. He's minimized. They've minimized the entirety of an 82-game season and 4 rounds of the playoffs into did you win a championship or not? And if you did not win a championship, not just one, multiple championships, then you deserve our attention. So when you're watching the NBA Finals with 2 teams that don't have a rich history in winning and a bunch of players that are either young or have been in the league for a little while and don't have a history of winning a bunch of championships, no, this isn't something we want to watch. So then you hear people saying, hey, cuz, that's why nobody watching this. It's not because it's not good basketball. It's great basketball. It's because y'all have been conditioned to only want to watch front runners.
Brand name whores.
Correct. You only want to watch brand name whores. That's a great name for it.
Because think about it, right? Just a couple of years ago, and I always bring this one up, especially when I'm talking to that individual. You had the Suns and the Bucks, right? So you had Giannis Antetokounmpo making his first finals, and he had been in the league for 8 or 9 seasons at that point. So it wasn't like he got hot as a rookie or in his first 3 years and made this run, and can it be sustainable? So then you, on the other side, you had Chris Paul, who a lot of people consider to be one of those great point guards, even though he doesn't have a championship.
He's 100% an all-time great point guard.
And you had the new Jack. You had Devin Booker, who that postseason, everybody was saying, is this the new Kobe? And all that kind of stuff. And people still didn't want to watch that series.
Yeah.
And people didn't want to watch that series. Now, that series was a benefit of the whole small market thing. That was actually like small market. Nobody cared about these two teams.
And that's what these 2 teams are. These 2 teams are probably
But I
smaller.
think it's worse with these 2 teams.
What up, Mike?
Because like they don't have any star power and they're small market. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care how many times somebody said it. Shea, whatever, SGA is not somebody that people like. Nobody.
But that's where they're messing up, in my opinion, because
no, you're right. No, Rez, I'm not saying it to like be detrimental. Like, I'm not saying it as a derogatory thing. I'm just saying like nobody's watching it because the media outlets that are supposed to get us hype about these young players are failing at their job. We want to watch Anthony Edwards because Anthony Edwards is on commercials. Anthony Edwards is being touted as the next big dude. He's the next Mike. He's the next Kobe. He's going to carry the league. He's the face of the league. Jason Tatum, he's got everything to be the greatest. Jason Tatum has all the attributes. He has all the athleticism. We want to watch these people because they build
I blame the NBA for that. I blame the NBA for that.
Nobody's building up.
I blame the NBA for that because you got the reigning MVP right now.
Yes.
On the verge of becoming Finals MVP.
Yes.
About to win the championship. And even if you got to lean into it because people been talking about free throw merchant, all that stuff.
No, Dallas Mike, don't over.
No. I know. But
he's talking about Cowboy Mike.
I'm saying Dallas Mike.
People talk about free throw merchant, all that kind of stuff. You could build SGA as the villain if you want to. If you wanted to build him up as the heartbreaker, because Jordan was beloved by obviously the masses, but there was a set of NBA fans that Michael Jordan was the Grim Reaper. When he walked in your building, you were dead.
Yeah, you were dead.
So they have the ability to build SGA in that way. But the culture that we live in now, and this is us I'm talking about, not the media, not the NBA. I gotta kiss your ass all day or I'm a hater. So SGA has the ability, or the league has the ability to center SGA as this is the guy that's going to break your heart, but they don't want criticism either.
But SGA isn't polarizing yet. That's what it's going to take.
But I think he's becoming it though.
No, so once people like, and this is where the NBA has an opportunity, right? So the NBA, to your point, has done an awful job of marketing their stars. That's why if y'all say y'all have the conversation all the time, superstar Halle. He's not a superstar because he doesn't move a needle. Lethal, you are a Halle fan. How many tickets have you bought to Pacers games?
You know what I'm saying? When you've been to Conseco Fieldhouse or whatever it's called.
I
now.
plead the fifth because I can't count in this situation.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't been to Market Square Arena back in the day.
So like that. But my point is that, right? People will buy tickets to see LeBron play just so they can boo him.
Matter of fact,
Like,
here's
people
one for you,
hate LeBron.
Rez. Here's one for you, Rez. You're what, less than 2 hours from DC? And I'm sure those tickets ain't expensive to go see Halle.
You can, Doug, you right there. You can go see Halle at least twice a year.
At least twice a year.
But you don't.
I tell you now.
Hey,
I bet you there's a mad niggas here that go see Wemby every game.
I remember, Doug, I remember when Kobe came to Atlanta. I remember my uncle saying, yo, we going to see Kobe in Atlanta.
Mike.
And we drove from Charleston to Atlanta to see Kobe play. We wasn't going to see the Lakers. We're going to see Kobe play. When Bron comes to Charlotte, people make the trek. They're going to see LeBron play in Charlotte. They're not going to see the Lakers. They're going to see Bron. When you tell me that you spent your hard-earned money to go see your superstar play, then I believe he's a superstar. But you're not. You're not. Like, it's something that we really... So with the NBA, the opportunity the NBA is missing is to do what they did with Michael Jordan, to do what they did with Allen Iverson, to do what they did with Magic Johnson, to do what they did with Larry Bird, and put them everywhere. You shouldn't be able to get away from these guys. I should see SGA everywhere. I should see Jason Tatum everywhere. I should see, if I'm on Twitch, I should see a stream where Jason Tatum is there talking to somebody, these big streamers. Like, if I'm the NBA, I'm hiring Kai Cenat. I'm hiring Kai Cenat. Hey, Kai, we just want you to bring in different NBA stars. We're gonna pay you $10, $20 million during the offseason just to bring in these NBA stars and get them to know these kids. I'm having them on ESPN. They're going to be doing guest spots on ESPN. I'll have commercials rolling, not those crappy State Farm commercials they have going.
I'm paying DDG
I hate those things.
his court
like
fees.
DDG. I'm having when Beyonce had the concert in Indianapolis, I'm paying Beyonce's people to have Halliburton on the stage with Beyonce.
I mean, to be fair though,
Or in the front row.
To be fair, you know, Halliburton and Jalen Brunson did show up to SmackDown. You know what I'm saying? They was about to have a match and everything.
And you know what?
That's a step.
And you know what? And that's a good step. But they should be doing that. They should be doing that more and more. Side note, like, look at these traps, bro.
Okay. This is welcome to the vanity portion of our show.
I can really do this today because I just cut back from the gym. Like, I really could, but I'm being kind today. I'm being kind.
I'm just like, I really was in there. Like,
I'm going after we do this.
You did not work out today. Don't do that. You did not work out today.
I did. No, I did.
I'm going after we do this.
Yeah, I was talking the whole time. I didn't lift.
Okay.
I was at the gym when we were on the phone the other day.
Oh, word. Okay, I'm very proud of y'all. See,
you know
that's why you got it.
Yeah.
Oh, Cups went away now. See, Cups.
Oh, he can't relate. He just doing Facebook push-up
this
videos
still. He don't call people. He don't go to the gym. See, this is the problem.
You know, but that's the thing because like now, right? This is where you have to have vision. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because right now the NBA draft is on next Thursday. So now you got these teams like Brooklyn, you know, in the biggest city in the country. You should already be getting the idea of who they're going to draft and be ready to market the new New York player or whatever the case may be, the new New York high draft pick. You know, you should be already, talking about these are the like what Houston did this year.
Yeah.
So next season, Houston should get a bunch more TV games because I believe they only had about 13 this year. You know what I mean? And that's the other thing is that you got to put these teams on TV too.
That too?
I think what Mike just said, they got too many analytical guys. I think that we should bring in more Jay Wills and more JJ Redicks. You know what I'm saying? Not
they had 11.
Perkins, but
they had 11. The Rockets had 11 games this year, and the way that they ended the season last year, you can't tell me that we didn't see that they were going to be maybe not the 2 seed, but they were going to be much improved and full of young players. They got Ime Udoka, so you got that redemption story. Like there's a lot of ways or a lot of reasons that you can market these teams that'll pay off.
Honestly, I think another thing that would really help, and I mean, obviously nobody's listening.
This finals
to
team,
us 'cause we're smart guys.
and this finals commentary team is terrible. Go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, but I think what would really help, bring back fucking Sports Center.
Real Sports Center.
And just
Real
show
Sports
us
Center.
highlights. Hey, last night, did y'all see the Pacers versus OKC? This happened. Boom, boom, boom. We saw this. We saw this. Yo, this dude's really heating up.
What was
That's
that
it.
show?
I don't need 2 niggas going back and forth about it. I don't need nothing. Just show me the highlights of the game. Tell me what happened and move
What
on
was
to the
the
next
show
segment.
they used to have that came on ABC that was hosted by Ahmad Rashad?
Inside basketball or NBA inside stuff.
NBA, that show there was a great vehicle to learn about new people. That was a great, like they used to bring on the most random people and they would just be following them around and be having these conversations. Like they really focus. Like I think not only are the analysts lazy, I think the creators are lazy.
Well, the problem is that a lot of people will watch regardless. So you're not going to get innovation when my base is already established. Like
But
it's like I talk about,
but your base is slipping.
it's like when I talk about
should
Madden every year.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They don't change a lot
They don't
because they
improve the
know
game, yeah.
that all these people are going to go buy it and just bitch about it instead of bitching about it without buying it.
Hey, you know what we should do? We should all put some money in, and we should all just travel to NBA games, and we should just interview these niggas that nobody knows, and we should just put it on our own platform,
yeah.
and just keep doing shit. Then just start interviewing that
I'll go
random
interview
niggas.
Jared
like
McCain. I don't care.
I wouldn't hate that.
Yeah, like we just interview random niggas that nobody knows. Like, hey, this is such and such from the Houston Rockets. ESPN won't tell you about them,
Yeah,
but we will.
Like a
Yeah, yeah.
dude like Desmond Bain. How do you shoot without lifting your arms?
Super skills.
Like, how did you make it to the NBA with no reach?
Like, how does it feel
I
to be
think
an NBA
if
Tyrannosaurus?
somebody was to do that, that show would go crazy on
All right.
YouTube. Like it would
All
go
right, hold on.
crazy.
While we talking about this, can y'all tell me? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The top 6 teams that had national TV games this year:
Lakers,
Lakers,
Boston,
Boston,
New York.
New York.
Miami.
No,
OKC.
Philly would
The
have
No.
been
Warriors.
the Warriors.
Warriors.
Yep,
That's
2
4.
more.
San Antonio.
No,
Denver.
no,
The Thunder.
no,
The Nuggets.
Clippers.
Oh, he just said
Cleveland.
Denver.
no, and no.
No. Okay. Wait, we
The
said New
Wizards.
York.
Said the Lakers,
Okay.
Warriors, Celtics, and Knicks. That's the top 4 in order. No,
Houston or Dallas?
yes.
Dallas. Okay. And
What other team has a white?
the next one
has
is
a
going to be
white
tough.
Star?
The next one is tough.
No, it's not a white star.
Is the next one in
It
the
is.
West Coast?
Sacramento,
No,
The Clippers.
Denver.
no.
No, because you said no white star.
It's the dude that's in trade talks all this week.
Oh, Phoenix.
Yeah.
Wow.
Those are the
way.
top. So the Lakers
Really?
had 39, the Warriors had 36, Boston and New York 34, Mavericks and Suns at 30. But for example, the reason that I brought this,
Oh, KD is
Yeah.
on the Suns.
So-
That makes sense.
so this
I didn't
is
even
why
think
I
about
brought this up. The Rockets are at 11. The Pacers were at 14. The Cavs 16 games. San Antonio 21, and then OKC 25. You know what I'm saying? When you knew that OKC was going to at least be on the level as those teams that were in that top 4, they were at least going to be on par with them. And that's where we got to get away from the TV market and focus on the actual players. Because people are going to watch the games. They're NBA fans. They're basketball fans. People are going to watch the games. You just got to put the right teams on.
Bruh, I mean, I just don't like y'all said. It's like, bro, whoever playing good basketball, niggas, I like that shit. And that's why I can't wait until the guard changes
But they
over.
don't market good basketball. That's the problem, my guy. They don't market good basketball. Just like the ESPN doesn't market good football. They don't tell you to watch. Hey, they're playing some really solid football over here. They tell you go watch these stars. Like even the NFL is starting to do it too. It's just that we're more ingrained to watching the NFL regardless of who's on. I made the point to Jack earlier. If the Browns and the Saints made the Super Bowl, we are watching.
And not complaining.
When they're like, oh
Hell
man,
no.
I ain't watching that because these two small market teams is in the Super Bowl. We'd never say nothing dumb like that.
Well, that goes back to what we used to talk about, what me and you used to talk about, is that the NBA had to be, I guess, saved, for lack of better words. So when
Magic.
Bird and Magic came
Yeah.
along, but they never adjusted after
No,
that.
no.
So when we were kids growing up, it wasn't, yo, we got Bulls Knicks tonight. It was like, yo, Jordan Ewing,
Yeah, Jordan Ewing.
Barkley and
Yeah, Dominique playing like
Yeah, that's
the
what it
NBA's
was.
always been player centric.
and the NBA hasn't adapted to that. You know what I
No.
mean? To where, because like you said, like even on Thursday night football, you could put Jacksonville and Houston on, and people will sit in front of that TV living by every single play.
Yep.
You know what I mean? If you
Sure
tell
will.
me the Pelicans and the Nets are on, even you as a basketball fan are going to be like, I'm not watching that.
Yes.
I just think it's because the NFL just has the football just has better fans than basketball.
But it's the same
No.
people.
Even
football markets it differently. You're an Eagles fan regardless of who's on the Eagles, bro. It's just like
That's
when
a
Dallas,
fact.
when
That's
Dallas
a
might be
fact.
like, hey man, if this happens, I'm leaving the Cowboys. Dallas Mike is never leaving the Cowboys. Cups is never. Well, Cups might leave
No.
the Patriots because he joined the Patriots when they were winning.
Well, he's
and now
definitely
they're not
leaving the
winning,
Red
so
Sox.
It's very
Cubs has to
possible
lead
he
the
leaves
Patriots because the
they're
Patriots
never
are
winning
not a
again.
winning
That is
franchise.
never
They don't.
happening.
Yeah, they don't have a winning
Ever.
culture. They got
It's
lucky.
never,
That's what that was.
ever
That was
happening
luck.
again.
Lucky though, they
For the
won 6
rest
of
of
They
your
them.
know
life,
damn.
will you see
They know
anything
damn.
like you
This ain't the
see?
80s. They
We
got
made
lucky at the
2
end of the 80s,
championships.
early 90s,
It
and
will
they got lucky in the
never
2000s.
happen
Them shits is dead.
again.
That is not. Oh, I can see
The
again.
Patriots will never
It will
win again.
never
They will
happen
never win again.
for the rest of your life. You are settled in this place.
There are only a couple of revolving
Do you
Y'all
want to
have
put that
7
in the
rings?
ledger?
Dallas
have 7 rings?
Cowboys,
They got 6.
San Francisco
Brady
49ers,
got 7 rings.
Pittsburgh
Oh no,
Steelers.
Brady has 7 rings.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
they
the
have
Patriots got
6
6.
rings.
Yeah.
So you have 6 rings. If you get a 7th ring before you turn 50, I will be shocked.
Hey,
In
there's
fact,
only
let's do this.
tough.
Let's do this.
there's only 2 teams that have 6 rings.
This is what
There's
we'll
only
do.
2
I
teams.
want to do this. I'm gonna do this right here. Y'all remember 1, 2, 3, 4. If the Patriots get a seventh ring before you turn 50 years old, I will give you $100.
Let's
You don't
get
have to
it.
do anything. I
We got.
whatever the medium is. Before you turn 50,
My man does not believe in Drake May.
Hey, look,
Hey,
we ready to cash in.
Dallas Mike, that's another one. The Ravens, that's another one. It's the
it'll never
Cowboys,
happen
the
again.
Ravens, the Steelers,
49ers. And,
49,
the
49ers. Those are really the 4 revolving franchises. I'll throw the Eagles in there, but it's because I'm an Eagles fan. People are gonna be like,
well,
that's
even
biased.
even
but
if you
the
look
Eagles
at
have
the
never had a
Packers,
bad
right? Like
decade.
they call Green Bay Titletown and all.
Titletown.
Hey,
Hey,
Green Bay's won
and
2
Green Bay
titles
years.
since I've been alive.
Yeah. No, it's
And Green
but
Bay.
that's why I always push back to that ring culture conversation. People don't realize how hard it is to win a ring. How many things have to go right for you to win a championship?
And only one team wins it.
Only one wins one every year. It's not like they give off 5 championships each season.
Yeah, so that's why, like, when Lethal, me and him used to argue all the time because he would be like, Kyle Shanahan, bro, he's a choker, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yeah, as a Colts fan, you would fucking take everything San Francisco has done in the last
Everything.
10 years.
Everything.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you would. I would.
Every franchise would take what San
Dog,
Francisco has
unless
done,
you're the Patriots,
your franchise is
Unless
actually
you're
a
the
winning
Patriots
team.
or the Steelers
Or the Chiefs.
or the
Yeah.
Chiefs. Like
That's it. Everybody
last
else
20
will take
years.
that.
Or anybody that wins.
But that's
Like-
what I'm saying. Like, so that's where ring culture loses the perspective because not only so when you look at San Francisco making those 2 Super Bowls
this
recently,
is a fire
right,
conversation.
they made one of them with Jimmy Garoppolo at the helm. They made the other one with Brock Purdy in year 2, maybe
Year
3, maybe.
No, year
year
2. It was year 2.
Yeah. And we're here talking about that's a failure.
Killed him in year
We're
1.
talking about that's a failure. Like if Anthony Richardson made the Super Bowl this year and the Colts lost, Lethal ain't calling that a failure.
If Anthony Edwards
Lethal
made
will
the
be like, "Oh, we on our way, bro."
if Anthony Edwards made the NBA Finals and lost his second year in the league, we would be like, "Oh my God, this guy's the second coming of Jordan."
I mean, we can still say that for him now, for real.
No, we cannot.
He can. He's
No,
still
we can't.
young.
Yeah, you
He's still
can.
young.
But that's my problem. That's the issue that I always have in these conversations. Is that if you feel the way that you feel, even if I think it's wrong, feel the way that you feel.
Bang.
Don't switch it based on who we talking about.
I don't like that idea though. I don't like to feel how you feel. Because if I told y'all that Jalen Hurts is the greatest quarterback ever and the Eagles went 3-12 every season that Jalen Hurts has been a starter, I would look like a fucking idiot. And it would be annoying. Like it would be crazy to say this. So no, you cannot feel how you want to feel. If your quarterback is ass,
No, that's
suck
not
it
what I
up.
mean. I
He's
just
ass.
mean that. No, that's not what I mean. I just
You're also
mean.
the person
I
that's
just
telling
mean
us
that
that
if you
Jalen
think
Hurts is
that
one of the best
if you
quarterbacks
that's
in
the
the
thing
league
with ring culture, because if you think that the ring is the thing, that's all that matters, and your guy doesn't win, you can't now change the rules and be
Right.
like, "Well, I'm just happy he got there." No, the ring is what matters. Keep that same energy, is what I'm saying. So like if Anthony Edwards makes the NBA Finals and lose, I don't want to hear, "Oh, it's only year 5 and he made it." I want to hear that he failed because that's your stance.
That's your stance. That is your stance.
would you say, hey, nah, Rez? I'm one of the ones saying what?
You're the one saying that. Come on, dog. I know what you. I
I'm
knew
one of the
you
ones
gonna
saying
go,
what?
I knew you gonna go get it, bro. I'm happy. Happy Father's Day, bro. Happy Father's Day, bro. You know what I mean? I'm
But
even
you
get your
know,
air
but-
horns.
but you know,
Super Bowl
but that's,
champion, Super Bowl
that's
MVP.
where. But even when you go back, just this conversation that we're having, right? Like we brought up Marino earlier. If you go back and look at Dan Marino, and then you look at a quarterback today that didn't win a Super Bowl, like it's like, yo, Super Bowls are so tough. Dan Marino couldn't do it. So I'm not gonna bang on
Yeah.
you for not winning a Super Bowl. Like I might, if we're having conversations of, hey, this person is this and this person is that, then I may say, look at how they played during that playoff run or something along those lines. Because, like I tell Lethal all the time, when Peyton Manning got that first Super Bowl, that playoff run, he had 3 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. So I'm not trying to hear that Peyton Manning won the Super Bowl. I'm not trying to hear that because I'm looking at Peyton as an individual.
Peyton Manning to me is just like James Harden. The only difference is his team actually was able to carry him. Peyton
And
Manning
that's the
does
difference
absolutely
between
terrible.
football and basketball is that a really good defense, like the Ravens in 2000, can make up for
Can
whatever
carry a
deficiency
quarterback,
that you have. In basketball, generally speaking, the better player or the better team generally wins because you got to beat them 4 times.
Right. And that's the problem. You know, like we like to overinflate the people that we like in any sport. You know what I mean? And it's like people just don't have people can't be objective anymore. It's not fun because nobody likes to tell the truth, or maybe nobody wants their feelings hurt. I don't really know what the actual answer is. You know what I'm saying? Just like how I said we killed Brock Purdy.
did.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's funny because you know what happened, but at the same time, Rest could be like, yeah, but what happened next year? You know what I'm saying? Like they smoked us. You know what I mean? So it's like you can make jokes like that, but people don't want to do that. People are just like, oh well, nah. The excuse is.
But what did they do when? What did they do when the ring was on the line though? What did they do?
Yeah.
I'm like, no, come on, dog.
And that's
Come
why,
on.
and that's why
like,
I said
it
when the
doesn't matter.
playoffs started, OKC has no excuse. I truly believed they were the best team in the league. I don't care about youth. I don't care about none of that. You're the best team in the league. Go win the championship. But I'm not going to have that opinion about the Knicks or the Cavs. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like it was specifically for OKC. It doesn't apply to everybody.
Right. No, that makes sense. That makes sense.
I agree.
But even
love this
OKC, you
conversation.
still have to have everything go. A lot of things go right, right? Because what if OKC gets to the finals and then Shai Gilgeous-Alexander gets hurt?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like there's so many things. Like the Niners, we were in the Super Bowl. We're up in the Super Bowl. Dre Greenlaw's coming off of the bench to go back into the game, a little too excited, and pops his freaking his Achilles, and goes like.
Right.
Dog, that was
like
crazy.
stuff like you need so many things to go right to win a championship. That's why I'm always going to push back on that idea. Like, oh, your season was a terrible season unless you won a ring. No, dog. Like one team gets a ring every year, dog. One. Now you may be
Only
a
one.
favorite, You may be a favorite. You know, people may have the expectation that you're going to be the team that takes it. I can. You know, there was a couple years that we should have won it.
Yeah, if I was a
But we
player, like if I was in the 49ers locker room, then I might feel like, oh, hey, we failed because this was our ultimate goal. But me sitting right here ain't got a reason to feel that way.
Right. And on top of that, so if that's the case, right? How many of the top rated the highest paid QBs in the league right now, how many of them have Super Bowl rings?
0.
The top paid QBs in the league right now.
0.
I think
Mahomes and
zero,
Hurts.
Now it's 0 though, because they're not the top. They're not in
Yeah,
the top
Mahomes
5
got
anymore,
pushed
I don't
down.
think.
Because Mahomes got pushed down because he took they converted his money to sign in so that he wouldn't have.
Yeah, we're talking about Joe Burrow. We're talking about Trevor Lawrence, Justin Herbert, Dak,
Lamar.
Now how many have Super Bowl appearances? I think it's just Joe Burrow, right?
Yes.
I think Joe Burrow's the only one with an appearance.
Yes.
So that tells me that even from an NFL standpoint, they don't put as much emphasis on rings. When you're talking about how they even decide they're gonna play their players.
I don't think none of us do, because you can sit up here and you can argue with somebody that Dan Marino's the greatest quarterback ever. I mean, not now because of Tom, but at one point in time, like niggas was like, nah, it's Dan. You know what I'm saying? Like you're not gonna be able to. He would put that out there. I think John Elway had a big fight for that before he got those 2 rings at the end.
Man, his stats was
saying,
god damn.
Who that, Elway?
Yeah, they were, but that's the other thing, is that stats are supposed to be used in moderation to make a bigger point. But if you actually watched the games and the impact that Elway had on the field, his impact trumps his stats. Whereas a guy like Devin Booker, the stats trump his impact.
Yeah, because Devin Booker has 0 impact for sure.
So that's got to be part of the context as well.
Yeah, no, I for sure. I mean, I think that was a really rich. That was a really rich discussion on that.
Yeah, because I mean, if we were looking at stats, you know what I mean, like, you know, there's like, I don't. Never mind. I ain't even gonna say that because I ain't trying to start that conversation. Carry on.
Nah, say it.
Happy June.
Nah, say it.
Well, I was just gonna say, if we were don't respond, Cups. I was gonna say, if we're counting stats,
I'll cover my ears.
Would say Drew Brees was the GOAT, or you know what I'm saying, or they would say Drew Brees was a top 2 or 3 quarterback of all time. But nobody says that, even
except for Cups.
No, Cups doesn't
That's
even
what I'm
say
saying.
that. So
I say he
Well,
was.
but that's
Yeah,
because-
he's probably like
that's
up there in the
because-
5-6 range.
But that's what I'm saying. But
you
if we
had
were
him
just
up there, I
using, but if we were using
and
stats,
that is because of impact. But also, do we? I feel like in football, we do negate defensive play. You know, like we'll say, oh, such and such didn't have a great impact. Like niggas love saying Tony Romo was dog shit, but really the Dallas defense just couldn't carry.
correct.
You know what I mean?
That's
Like,
another one of those conversations that,
Tony Romo's that guy.
like when it comes to quarterbacks, that's why I always make the comment. Depending on who you're talking to, it just depends on what quarterback they like. Because you could take a quarterback like, say, Matt Ryan, and somebody like Lethal will be like 28-3, while giving hand jobs to Phillip Rivers, who didn't even get to a Super Bowl.
That's a AEO.
That's
You know what I'm saying? But that's what I'm saying, though. But they're basically the same.
The
they're
Philly
basically
field,
the
the
same
Philly field
quarterback.
glaze is tough though.
But they're the same quarterback, and Matt Ryan is more accomplished. But Lethal will be like 28-3 makes Matt Ryan a failure, but Phillip Rivers, who never even played in the Super Bowl, is God tier. You know what I'm saying? And that's where I get frustrated, because
laws,
like, keep those rules that you have for yourself, but just apply it across the board.
Across
Don't
the
change
board.
it depending
Very
on who we
simple.
talking about.
Very simple.
I just be feeling like
Lethal, are you taking Matty Ice over Philly Field?
I would. And I'm not
That's-
saying
I
that
would-
I'm not.
I
But when
would
I
take
say
that.
that, that's not to say that Matt Ryan is a 90 and Phillip Rivers is a 86 or something like that. They're neck and neck. You know what I'm saying? But Matt Ryan has accomplished more.
Matt Ryan has a league MVP. Matt Ryan has a Super Bowl appearance.
I'm about to say they're not neck and neck at all.
I think they are neck and neck.
They're not neck and neck.
I think they're the same tier
Phillip
quarterback.
Rivers have better teammates than Matt Ryan.
Phillip Rivers accolade take him out of the conversation, and that's what I mean when I be talking about like this quote unquote ring culture. We gotta throw everything in there. Your accolades do matter. And if you don't have the accolades, I don't give a fuck about the eye test.
If you don't
nigga.
have the
Like,
league
you
MVP,
ain't got no
don't
accolades.
come telling me how great you are, bro.
That's-
I'm just saying, like from that standpoint, like if you're comparing,
So the
when you start
separation bar is
when you
elite-
start looking
elite
at
MVP
these players,
for
I'm not saying
quarterbacks.
that they're not great. What I'm saying is, when we start comparing, we're like, okay, cool. We're comparing these two players. If one player has a league MVP and the other one doesn't, I stop the comparison there.
I agree.
That's an individual
matters.
accolade. League MVP is an individual
matters.
accolade.
So what about Joe Flacco and Matt Ryan?
You think Joe Flacco
has
and Matt
no
Ryan
business
are-
being
Whose
in a
career-
conversation with Matt
Whose
Ryan?
career would you rather have?
You
Matt
would rather
Ryan?
have
When you not
Flacco's because
have
he
Joe
got the Super
Flacco,
Bowl
the
ring.
person who won a ring.
Flacco had one.
No,
great
I
season.
want Matt Ryan's because Matt Ryan was with one
Matt
franchise
Ryan-
majority of
Matt
his
Ryan
career,
didn't win
made a
ring.
name for himself with that franchise, took his franchise to
And
the Super
didn't
Bowl.
win it.
I think
Yes,
those are
I lost to
different
Tom
questions.
Brady.
I think those are
Flacco
two
had
different
one
cares?
Flacco
great
won
season.
his
I
joint
think
though.
that I think that Matt Ryan is better than Joe Flacco, but ultimately you play the game to win championships, and Joe
Yes.
Flacco has that.
And Matt
So is
Ryan-
Eli
Matt
better
Ryan-
than Matt Ryan?
No,
I
you
don't
can
have
take-
Eli.
but I would
I have
take
Matt
Eli's
Ryan.
career,
over
though.
Matt
I would
Ryan.
take Eli's
Would you
career.
take Eli over Matt Ryan?
no, I wouldn't.
As a
Me
quarterback,
personally, no, I'm not. I'd rather have the career where you know that I was actually a franchise quarterback and I made sure my team won and it was on my back. Yes, I didn't win a championship, but
But
I
if
was
you
that
talk
guy.
about
I'd rather be
accolades,
Charles
if we even talk
Barkley.
about accolades between the two, if you look at Eli's and Matt accolades, you would take Eli accolades.
You wouldn't, because Matt Ryan's accolade
I
is
wouldn't.
I won an MVP. Eli's accolade is I led the league in interception 3 times.
Bro, he got 2 Super Bowls.
And I have a
He
no,
has
that's
2
not a
Super
that's a
Bowls.
team
You
accolade.
know who
We're
else has
talking
2
about
Super
This is the
We're
exact
talking about-
conversation
That's
that we're
not an
having.
accolade, though. That's not.
We're literally having this
You
conversation. The
you
rings
literally
do
just-
not
because
fucking
you just
matter.
used- because what you just did
Like, you
what you
can't
just
make
did-
the rings
because
everything when you're a
in
shitty ass
both
quarterback.
the Flacco
He's still top 10
in
winningest
both the
quarterback all
Flacco
time.
Flacco
though.
record.
in both the Flacco and Eli conversation.
He
He's got
still
long-
won
No,
more with that
Eli
500
has a
record.
longevity stat. Eli didn't miss games,
Correct.
just like his brother. These are longevity stats.
Saying
At the
that,
end of the day,
he has longevity stats, and when you're talking about how good your team or how well your team performs, and saying that when you dress up as quarterback, your teams are top 10 in wins in that span. What are we talking about?
Eli is right place, right time. At the end of the day, he's right place, right time. Great defense when it needs to be. And if I got to pull some shit out of my ass, it just so happens to work.
Well, I could argue the fact that Matt Ryan only had one good season, and that was
No, he
MVP
didn't.
season.
No,
That's
he didn't.
not
He had more than
true.
one good season.
You could argue that it's just not
Mm.
factual.
That's not a true thing, though. Yeah, like
So why do y'all shit on Iverson for having an MVP?
I don't.
Who shits on Iverson?
2.5.
I don't.
No, 2.5 does not shit on Iverson.
Mm.
2.5.
I made all those comparisons to just bring up Iverson because I want to feel. I don't feel like y'all show Iverson enough love.
Well, this is the problem that I have.
I know Rand's
Well,
likes
this is the
Iverson.
problem that I have.
I put all those players out there just to circle back around and put Iverson
This
out
is
there
the problem
because
that-
I feel like Iverson gets shit on because his free throw percentages. Y'all said MVP. Y'all said the individual accolades.
This is the problem that I have. This
Rookie
is
of the
the problem
year.
that I have.
Iverson gets shit on everything.
This is the problem that I have with that statement. Allen Iverson hasn't played in the NBA for 16 years. I don't even want to talk about him. I want to talk about the dudes that are playing right now. You know what I mean? Like, that's my thing. So showing him love is one thing, but that's like me saying, y'all don't show Clyde Drexler no love. It don't matter. He hasn't played since what, 97?
Yeah.
Like, so what? You don't show Clyde Drexler love. Fuck him. You know what I'm
and
saying?
just-
But when it comes to Allen Iverson, I don't shit
Damn,
on
fuck
Allen
Clyde
Iverson.
Drexler.
No, I'm just making a point. Like, my argument is with AI, my argument is we're talking about a dude.
You're wrong.
We're talking about a dude that has had, 39% shooting seasons, 40% shooting seasons, and all that, right? So cool.
You said
Allen
he's more
Iverson was
culture
great.
than actual substance. That's what you
Right.
said.
Like, you know what I mean? And that's why when I do talk about Allen Iverson, you'll
Same as
remember.
Vic.
Hold up. I'm glad. I always say Allen Iverson, Michael Vick, and Tupac. You know what I'm saying? The most underrated dudes in their fields because we like what they represent.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, Allen Iverson is a great player. but he's not no top 10 all-time player.
No.
Well,
And that's-
even
but
to
that's the way
say
we
even
were
Iverson,
viewing him,
I would
though.
bring up. I feel you, and it's the same way you brought up IT earlier. That gave him his love and gave him his credit. He gets shit on too.
Now
Yeah.
that's the one.
For the-
That's
for-
the one.
And he
That's the
beat
one.
all them niggas. He never really get his due. So like, that's why I feel like it's jaded when it comes to. I think people forget Isaiah tried to start his own league after he left the league too. So like, I think they purposely don't put these guys in certain categories based off
Correct.
what they represent.
I agree with that.
That was my only point I was trying to make. Like
Hold up,
I just
while
want.
you here, hold up. Matter of fact, while you here though, I asked this earlier. So since you're here, I'm gonna ask,
Happy
where my
Juneteenth,
One Mic
King.
podcast at?
I won't be back until football season.
Okay.
Oh, you and Adam. Is Adam your first guest?
Huh?
So now,
Is Adam your first guest? Because he said he's not gonna be back to football season either. Y'all planning something big? The Dallas Mike and
he might be now.
the
Yeah.
Cowboy Rams.
No,
That's
like real talk. I
podcast.
haven't been because of the office.
Cool,
So like I literally do not have any free time to pod.
Oh, word. All
So
right.
when I
No,
do
but,
pod with y'all, like that's the only time I have to pod. I don't have any midday time to pod anymore.
So
Dang,
what
man.
Allen Iverson did with the Philadelphia 76ers in 2001 is the stuff that legends are made of.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? He won
It is.
3 playoff series in that run. His rest of his career, he won 3 playoff series total.
Oh,
So
that's
when I say
crazy.
he's overrated, that's what I'm talking about.
Ooh, I know what the 3 playoff series were. The Bucks won. Sixers.
Well,
Bucks.
I'm not talking about in that playoff run. I'm talking about outside of 2000.
Oh, that was in that playoff run too.
Yeah,
Because it was the Bucks, it was the Celtics,
and the Raptors.
and the Raptors.
Raptors.
Yeah, so outside of that year, he's won 3 other total playoff series, and
Wow.
that's what. So when I say he's
I didn't know that
overrated,
That's a crazy.
that's what I'm talking about. As far as like, yes, he's got gaudy numbers. You know what I mean? He's got the crossovers, the flash, and the pizzazz.
Number 21 all time, bro.
But there's not a lot else there, is what I
Top
was
21.
saying. Just like
And he's
Michael
not 1
Vick,
through
right?
20.
Michael Vick is absolute box office. He's probably the most exciting football player I've ever seen. There just ain't nothing else to go with it.
I don't know. I think Lamar Jackson might be coming for that title, bro.
Well, he ain't got it
Nah,
yet.
not at all.
He ain't got it yet.
Let's be honest.
I think
Let's
Lamar
be
Jackson's
honest.
coming for that title.
Lamar is not
Yes, he
exciting to
is.
watch,
No,
bro.
he
We got.
is.
Whoa, we're not excited to watch.
Okay, wait.
No, he really
Hold
is.
on. Let me see.
Hold on now. Hold on.
Hey,
I know you
we
don't
gotta
fuck with
chill
Philly,
with that
but
now.
you wilding now. He's
We gotta
exciting to
chill.
watch.
Because
Before.
I spit hot fire.
I said, let me.
Is this why you
Fix
losing on the
it.
game? Because you got weird takes that you trying to
You
make? Is that what's
lost.
going on?
Okay, first of all, I'm losing right now because my son came in here having a temper tantrum and I had to go away. That's why, and I had to mute everything up because I was scared. I was like, oh,
Nah, nigga.
and then, but also,
Now do your thing. Handle your business.
so look,
It's different now.
everybody knows I hate Lamar Jackson. All right, it's obviously
Black on black
everybody knows
crime.
that, right? However,
You're wrong.
it's the acne.
And on
Nah, I'm
Juneteenth,
just
you
playing,
gonna
I'm
do
just
this.
But let's get back to this Lamar's not
but-
entertaining thing.
No,
Yeah.
Till he get his hair done.
Put a
Yeah.
shirt
Right.
on.
He's definitely an entertaining dude to watch. However, he is lackluster. He to me, he is exactly what Vic is, except like Vic was cool. I don't know how else to put it. Like Vic was a cool dude. Lamar's not fun outside of the uniform. Vic was dope outside the uniform, talking and all that kind of stuff. You fuck with Michael Vick. With Lamar Jackson, it's not the same thing. And even in games, Lamar is overrated. He doesn't do what everybody pretends he does.
He makes
it's
2
time
or
for
3
Yeah.
plays
to get
every
some
game.
done.
Lamar Jackson interviews are the worst
Lamar
interviews of all
Jackson
time.
makes 2 or 3 plays a game that nobody else in the league can make. That's what Lamar. That's why it's exciting.
That's it. And that's why I said. That's why I said. Let me walk it back. In the uniform, he's great. However, he doesn't get the job done when he needs to. He's not clutch. I don't like using that word. Skip Bayless has destroyed that word, but he's not clutch.
Yuck! I hate that argument you just made. You're wrong. You're wrong. You're wrong.
But that's why, like I said, I use the word, but like I think that we
disgusting.
forget what words mean though, because when I say overrated, that doesn't mean that somebody
That you
says that Allen Iverson is
Right.
top 10, and I'm saying he's type,
The competition,
and I'm saying that I'm not saying
like, it's like, can't do that shit. Niggas ain't did it.
No, dog. No, dog.
no, like if you were to tell me,
Wait, Mike, you saying my take is
if you
rude?
were to tell me
That
that
take was
Allen
terrible.
Iverson is top 10 all time, right? And I said he was
I need to hear the
overrated.
rest of your 10.
That doesn't mean that I mean he's number 80. Like, you know what I mean?
Where do you have him?
Yeah, it means that Allen Iverson
Do-
is top
Do
20
you have him
basketball
lower than
players
21?
probably
Is
of all
my
time.
question.
No.
Okay, cool. There we go.
And that's what I'm saying. But people just hear the word overrated and automatically go negative as
Mhm.
if you're trying to say that,
because
he
that's
don't
what-
even belong in this conversation. I've never said that. Allen Iverson is one of my favorite players. But what I try to do, and I get it wrong sometimes because I'm human, but I try to be as objective as I can.
Yeah.
So even though he's one of my favorite players, I'm not going to overrate him or put him where I think he doesn't belong because I like him.
Anybody can be overrated depending on where you rate them. This is something I would say
Right.
for years.
Just like a guy
Right.
like Kyrie, I think is
Yeah.
very overrated.
Yeah. Depending on where you rate him. If you're trying to tell me he's top 3 in the league, then yeah, you're overrating him. But if you're like, oh, he's top 100 in the league, now you're underrating him because that's nuts.
Right.
So like,
Just like I've always thought that y'all, like when it comes to underrating, for example, I think that y'all underrate Dame a lot.
oh, I think you're absolutely wrong on that.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I think hold on, you're wrong.
Dame is exactly where he's supposed to be.
Yeah,
Only
for
thing
sure.
about
Hit that
Dame
joint
is
again.
that his-
Nah, hit my joint. Hit my joint,
Oh,
Rez.
yes.
What you talking about?
we reached
Dog,
that
what are we-
goddamn.
He just
We're
didn't
not deep diving around
he didn't have the team that he
We're
should
gonna
have,
play all of them
but
for Mike.
outside of that, like
No, but I think that somebody like Dame has enough moments, and if we're looking at, like, because I know a lot of the argument comes down to who did you have on your team because it's a team game as well. You know what I mean? Like Dame made a Western Conference Finals in the West. Whereas we give people credit for making Eastern Conference Finals when we know that the West is much better. And he lost to the Warriors, where one of my first thoughts when I started the Hot Box, and Cups knows this very well because I said it to him probably more than anybody else. I hate when people do the whole, but he ran into Kobe. And I'm like, well, beat him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care who
That's
you
it.
ran into. Beat
Win.
him. If you were good enough to get there, you're good enough to get past there.
Straight up.
You know what I'm saying? So that's where, like, there's a lot of guys that haven't made a Western Conference Finals or anything along those lines, or like Dame ain't Paul George.
No, he is not. I would never do that to Dame. I would
You know
never
what I mean?
disrespect that man.
But I think Dame is one of those.
But NBA players get overrated just because we like
That's
the
what
way
I'm
they play
saying. That's what I'm
basketball,
saying
for
about
real.
Kyrie. People like the moves, the dancing, the flashiness, the Uncle Drew, and all that kind of stuff.
You don't think Kyrie's better than Dame and
I
Paul
think
George?
I think
Kyrie's better than
Kyrie
both
and
of them.
Dame are the way that I was just talking about Phillip Rivers and Matt Ryan. I think that's Dame and Kyrie. Kyrie just does it flashier and prettier.
Mm.
Wow. I think that Kyrie Irving. I mean, I guess if you take away the fact that he hasn't done anything since he left
He
LeBron,
didn't do anything before
technically, I mean, he went to the finals. He went to the finals with Luka, but like nothing happened. So I guess
Like, yeah, if
all
I
the
put
other teams
Dame
that
on a
he's been
team
with-
with LeBron, you don't think he makes a finals? If I put Dame on a team with Luka, you don't think they have the ability to make a finals?
Do you know why? Do you know why a lot of people like Kyrie the way they do?
I lost
What's
the
that?
words,
They
Because
see
he reminds
Kyrie
them of
as-
Iverson.
He reminds them of Kobe.
Okay, that too. That too.
That's why a lot of people really do gravitate towards Kyrie the way that they do. He's an amazing basketball player, but it like like if there was one player, as much as Jason Tatum wants to believe that it's him, that embodies like the Mamba mentality, it is Kyrie. And a lot of people gravitate towards that because they saw
And Russell
Kobe more than
Westbrook
Kobe.
might even come before Jason Tatum.
Yeah,
Russell Westbrook definitely does that. You know what I'm saying? The only problem
that
is
Russell
Kobe
Westbrook
won.
is a maniac.
Like
Shout out to
that's
Brody.
you know what? I was trying to figure it out, right? So maybe y'all can help me navigate
gonna
through
say
this
now?
abyss. Who would you rank higher all time between Russ and Harden?
At this point, Russ,
Harden has what?
I'll
2
take
MVPs?
Russ.
I think Harden only has one, right?
he only got one.
only
He only
got
got
Then
one.
they all got one. So then
Yeah, they
all got
both
one.
only have one. Oh, all three of them. Yeah, KD. They all have one.
So then I
I
would.
probably would take Russ over all three of them niggas.
I'm taking
Both of them.
Brody. I mean, no, because remember I told you, like, I don't want KD's. I don't want the cupcake on me. Like that's not something. Pause. Sorry. Pause. That I like for KD, but I would take KD's career over all of their careers. But if you're talking Harden or Westbrook, Westbrook will be remembered as somebody who gave his all every single game he played, and I would want that on my jacket.
Okay.
And what he did with OKC by himself, and what he did with the Wizards,
Yeah.
and how he's
What do you do with OKC by itself?
He played very
He
hard.
got to the 6th seed.
He didn't make it out the first round.
He won MVP though.
Played very hard.
Didn't make it out the first round.
Again, the
Played
narrative
very hard.
changes.
It's
Where we
crazy.
moving the goalposts because for other
That's
people, we like they didn't
But
get
that's
out
what
the
I'm saying,
first
though.
round. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing with you. I feel like
But he's
people
never
move the
missed the
goalposts
playoffs,
all the time. Like it's
I
like,
don't think
yo,
Harden's ever missed the playoffs.
He had
Like-
he had Paul George and Melo on his team and didn't make it out the first round.
that's not saying much.
That is saying much. Paul George was an MVP candidate that
He
year.
was hurt.
He finished
He had-
fourth or something
He had
like
the
that.
he had the
Oh,
shoulder
George.
straps on. He was hurt majority of that season.
Yeah, he was hurt though.
Melo wasn't.
He was banged up.
Melo was at a
Melo
point in
was
time where
old.
the league was moving past Melo. Niggas wasn't trying to hit
George.
to that one-on-one shit no more.
You can't beat, with Carmelo and Paul George, you can't beat the Utah Jazz that only had Donovan Mitchell.
Yeah, I mean, Joe Ingles play out his mind that series.
Come on, don't come in here talking to me about
Oh,
Joey
you brought Joe
Gladstone.
Ingles
Joe
up.
Ingles was playing
Oh,
his,
Joe Ingles.
his ass
Joe
off.
Ingles,
Joey
bro.
Gladstone is what I call
Hit
him.
that joint, Rez. What we talking about? Joe
What
Ingles,
we
bro.
talking about? What we talking about? Joe Ingles.
Joe Ingles.
Joey
you know
Gladstone.
what I'm saying?
You know what? Here it is. Cut
got some more
it
buttons.
out. Cut it out.
I'm just saying,
Real
bro.
talk,
Joe
though, but-
Ingles.
Joe
But
Ingles.
that's
Nah,
what I
for
feel
real.
like.
No, for real though.
I feel like they moved the goalposts again. Not trying to hop about the Iverson shit again, but it's like
No, I love
when
that.
do
It's good.
when do people care about field goal percentages? I never grew up listening to that shit. Like it was talked about a little bit, but it's
Well,
like
you
as
just
soon
met
as
me a
certain
year
people,
ago.
players moved into the league, it's like now it's all analytical, all numbers, I got to get my numbers. It's like nah, if you go to the flow of a game, you're gonna get numbers. If you got a hot hand, you're gonna get the numbers.
At your job, if you do something at your job correctly 39% of the time, should your job keep you?
Yes,
Okay.
But
because
that's based on,
again,
I say, unless the league average is 100 or
exactly,
maybe
Cup.
75.
Thank you. The league average is like around 40 something. So like I'm not doing that bad. If you're not a center or a power forward, those guys are shooting the 50s and the 60s. Other than that, everybody's shooting in the 30s and the 40s.
I'm just saying.
MJ was shooting in the 50s, so that's another story, another time.
Yeah, Kobe was at 44, but his bad
I'm
shots.
telling you, I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm just saying that I feel like the narratives move within eras, within
Well, that's
time
just because you
frames.
didn't know me until last year, because I've been talking about this since at least 2015. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not about stats per se, but like I said, when you're talking about the greatest of the greatest and the best of the best or whatever, they're all great. So you have to find ways to create separation.
Understood. And one of those ways is winning MVP, in my opinion.
Yeah,
Just like we
I-
gave
I
Matt
think
Ryan that
MVP
too.
another one of those
We
ways.
gave Matt Ryan that layout to say he's better than Phillip, he's better than Eli because of the fact he won an MVP. And so my correlation is the fact why we're not giving Iverson that same love and respect. And I feel like that.
They're two different sports.
Who are we competing? It depends on who
I
we're
think,
comparing
well,
him
I
to.
think Iverson does get love and respect, but at the end of the day, Allen Iverson
No,
didn't do
the
anything.
question is who are we comparing Allen Iverson to? Because I think if you're comparing him to somebody who doesn't have a league MVP, then yeah, I would be like, no, Iverson's better than that player. He has a league MVP and he doesn't. Like,
Yeah,
Right,
well,
yeah.
I was also trying to add in Kobe. I feel like Kobe gets shit on. I've seen Kobe on number 9 on niggas' list, number 7, number
not-
12. I'm like,
that's
what
where
the
he
fuck is wrong
generally
with y'all
is.
niggas? Like,
That's where he
Get
generally
on.
is, though.
Like, do you know
But
how
Mike,
many
the
people
reason
have
that
played
the
in
reason
the
that
NBA?
Kobe is number 7 on the list is not because
No,
Kobe sucks
not at
or
all.
anything like
It's
that.
just
And
other
I'm a
dudes are
diehard
great
Kobe
too.
fan. It's because
who are
other dudes have more accolades. Other people have better statistics.
but again,
If you-
the
if
eras
you-
are different. You can't compare Kareem Abdul-Jabbar
That's
to
subjective.
Kobe fucking Bryant. That shit is crazy to me.
That's exactly
But
what
see,
we have
but that's
to
the
do.
thing.
if
But
we're
that's the
making a
thing,
list.
Mike. You're bringing
You
up
don't
that's the
compare
same
Will
argument that
Chamberlain
people have.
to a nigga that play in the day's game. The
But you
game
have
is
to-
very different.
Yes,
you're
you-
bringing
that's-
in
that's
very
not fair.
subjective
You can't-
things
Right.
to an objective conversation.
And you have to make a list.
As long as you played in the NBA, you can use
Yeah.
my name, and you cannot get mad at somebody
And
for doing
you have
that.
to make a list. Like, unless you're saying we're only making a list of players that played that were less than 7 foot tall that played between 1985 and 2025. Now, if we're doing that, then yeah, you can eliminate them. But if you say
All I'm
time,
saying
you have to
is
consider all time. You can't say
no.
let's-
I'm not saying we don't consider those guys. I'm saying for guys that we watched and played. If you ask guys from a time frame of when Iverson came in the league in 97
Mhm.
till when he left the league, it's not many guys that's better than him.
Oh no,
Correct.
not at all. No, I agree.
100%.
No,
So
I
that's
agree.
so,
But that's a
so
different
all I'm
discussion.
saying is that I'm not saying anything else but that. And
Oh,
I
no,
feel like
that's
a lot of times,
Oh,
That's
no.
not all you said. You said don't come in here with no Kareem Abdul-Jabbar and no
I
Wilt
got-
Chamberlain. And
no, I'm saying I'm not gonna compare those guys and put them in a higher regard than the guys that I actually fucking watched.
I don't have.
That's my thing.
I don't
Not
have
saying
anybody.
not saying that we're saying that.
Yeah.
I'm saying that the NBA analysts, that's what they do.
No, I
They
agree
put
totally.
guys at a certain point. They didn't watch those guys play.
But a lot of those guys are older than us too. Steven, I'm old. I consider myself to be pretty old in this conversation.
Like
Stephen
Chris
A's
Mad
15
Dog-
years older than me.
Chris Mad Dog.
But Stephen A. don't watch basketball.
Stephen A. does not watch
He
basketball.
used to at one
He
point.
used to watch basketball. Now he don't have time to watch basketball because he's doing
Just
95 shows.
just like Mad Dog. Mad Dog be saying some
Mad Dog.
stupid shit, but I also
And that's
think
the
that Mad Dog is
problem
an
because
old
again,
white
we respected older guys. We respected the Bob Levy's. We respected a lot of these guys who really broke down the game because they actually watched the shit. You let niggas like Skip Bayless get on TV and niggas that just don't. They have an agenda. Like Shady McCoy has an agenda to shit on that.
Oh, for sure.
All I'm adding is what I'm trying to add to the conversation based off
right.
why these guys are shit.
No, you're right.
Why we should listen to the shit they have to say because it doesn't make sense. Like you can't say that Vince Carter was better than a nigga or T-Mac was better than certain. Like
Better than
it'd be
AI.
outlandish if niggas be saying out there like Richard Jefferson.
That's where I
Like
get frustrated because like y'all constantly, you Cups, Adam, y'all bring up all this stuff about like on TV they saying this,
Yeah,
and I'm like,
we
you
don't-
ain't talking to them, you talking to me.
Yeah, no. So
Of course.
I don't have
Of course.
anybody. If you are a player in the league that has a league MVP, I'm not putting players ahead of you that don't have a league MVP. I'm just
agree.
not.
I'm the same way. I'm not putting T-Mac ahead of
Yeah,
or Carmelo Anthony ahead of Iverson.
No,
I watched Iverson play his whole career. I watched Carmelo Anthony play. Carmelo, when he got to a certain point, he got comfortable. He put on a lot of weight. He was set in his ways, and that style of basketball doesn't work.
I think Carmelo's feelings
He got hurt too.
I think Carmelo. Yeah, I think Carmelo's feelings were hurt because LeBron was overshadowing so much because of the
100%.
If Melo plays in any other era,
Carmelo
if
was
Melo plays in
just-
any other era, he's considered the best player in the league.
Thank you, and that's my point right there.
I don't know if Carmelo is better than Bernard King.
And when you get on the court, nobody fears this nigga on the court.
I don't know if Carmelo's better than Bernard King.
As a scorer or just a player, period?
Player period.
Neither
And
of
I
them
think
have
and I think that's the
MVPs,
other
so
thing
go for
is that when people talk about who's the best player and all
Where did
that,
Cups go?
they're usually talking about scoring, and that's where it stops. You know what I mean?
True.
Because like that's why Cups is like, yo, put Trae Young on Boston. Like that would be a disaster.
That's an
But
awful
we're just
idea.
looking
I
at it
repeat.
from, oh, he scores X amount of points. Like he would kill it on there, but he wouldn't because he doesn't fit their style of play.
Right.
And that's where like the conversations are a little more nuanced. So I think that to play a semantics game, there's a difference between do I think this person is better and is this person greater? Those are two different things.
I
Because
agree.
Carmelo is a better basketball player than a lot of dudes that we probably have ranked ahead of him. He just can't be greater than them.
Well, that was my question earlier, and I want to ask you, Cowboy Mike, because the question was when we talk about the NFL, like the best of the best players, you know what I'm saying? Because we know that the football is a different type of team sport, especially when we talk about winning as far as
100%.
basketball. Like Barry Sanders could be considered one of the greatest football players of all time.
Yes,
but
for
he
sure.
doesn't have
Absolutely.
championships. You know what I'm saying? Dan Marino, one of the greatest of all time, but he doesn't have
Yeah.
we talk about
Barry does.
compared to among the greatest of
He
the
has an
greatest. Does he have an MVP?
I thought Barry got an MVP.
I think he does.
No, he doesn't
No,
have
he
one.
don't have MVP.
Wow. I
He
thought
don't have
Barry had
MVP.
MVP.
Yeah,
I know Emmett got an
I didn't think
MVP.
so.
Emmett got an
But
MVP.
His team
but
sucks.
either way though, the Browns never won a championship either, and Jim Brown is definitely because he's a historical
they did.
legend.
Jim Brown 100%
Because
won
He won
football,
an NFL
you
championship.
know why?
Oh,
Because
it's the NFL championship.
He won two.
Because football has 11 players on the field at one time, and you have another side of the ball that's
Yes.
a completely different set of players.
Yes.
Whereas in
Both.
basketball, you're playing the whole time.
Both sides. Right.
You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
but
So you
and
have a
what-
bigger impact.
Basketball, your position carries way more weight than it does.
But
In
yeah,
football,
and that,
for
but
sure.
what I was saying though was Cowboy Mike, just based off what I was saying is football. When we think about basketball though, when you think about the greatest players to never win rings, like how many of those ringless players are you putting in tier 1 categories along with the greatest players who have rings?
I
If
see
you
what
were to
you're saying.
take the rings away.
To me personally, again, that's why you have to watch the game. And I I know
Yep.
Reggie Miller kind of gets not put down on the scale of shooters and players. Well, Steph Curry, Ray Allen have kind of passed him.
Mhm.
But to me, when I watched Reggie Miller play, he was the only one I feel like was comparable to Jordan, in my opinion. But again, I'm just watching from my lens. So I would put Reggie in that tier, who never won a championship. Charles Barkley is another one
Yeah, I was going to say Barkley.
that I think really, bro, like if it wasn't for
sure.
MJ, he's going to win a championship. Karl Malone. Again, these guys I watched play tooth and nail while we were down on a lot of these games. Like, bro, I seen Reggie push Jordan on the ground and hit a game-winning three. Like, imagine he hit that shot right now.
Yeah, Karl Malone retired second all-time in scoring.
Literally, Karl Malone was giving niggas the business, dog. Like,
Mailman.
Somebody earlier.
Dog.
I said Karl Malone retired the second highest scorer.
Ain't got
of
no
all
credit
time,
for that
and
shit.
nobody-
That's what I get when niggas bring up the point shit. It don't really mean nothing to me because it's like I watch niggas on that list. Niggas didn't really give a fuck. Like Dirk is like 6 on that list. So is he better than the? You know what I'm saying? Like he's not in nobody's top 10. So like this shit. Niggas move the goalposts for what they want to make it for their narrative instead of focusing on what you watched and what you seen.
Well, I think that's the problem though, because we say that, but we're all different people with different opinions that value different things. So like, so like we can't come to a consensus because we think of things differently. So like I brought up the field goal percentage. You're like, fuck the field goal percentage.
No. I'm not saying fuck it. I'm just saying that we're gonna do that, but do that for everybody.
That's what I'm saying. I do.
Do niggas know what was
last year, right? That's how this whole thing started because y'all got kind of frustrated that I was using field goal percentage to quote unquote minimize Jason Tatum last year. That's
true.
That's how a lot of this started.
I don't like using field goal percentage. I don't like using field goal percentage sometimes because I think nowadays I feel like the game has gotten a little bit easier to score. So it's a little easier to score 50%.
Correct. Stay there. Real quick. Stay there. But that was my point. So when you got somebody like Jason Tatum that's in the NBA finals shooting 38%, and you're trying to tell me that he's the finals MVP, whereas if Jaylen Brown was shooting 38%, the same people that's mad that I'm saying Jason Tatum shot 38% would probably be like, how you going to choose Jaylen Brown? He shot 38%.
Well, this is the thing too. Like again, Jason Tatum took a lot of bad shots. So we admit that he took a lot of bad shots, and he's number one option. So again, you got to get a team to play for playing good defense on him. Like we said earlier, two sides of the ball.
Nobody plays good defense.
But people will use that same argument.
Jason Tatum plays good defense on himself.
He does.
But people will use that same argument against Kobe and be like, "Oh, Kobe only shot 45% for his career." But like, bro, that's actually really good.
Thank you. That's my point. And considering the fact that
that's my point. If Jason Tatum had shot 45% shoot with
you
the shots that he takes, he would have easily been playing MVP.
This is the thing about.
So you would have given him the MVP if he shot a better percentage.
But the thing about Kobe,
Brown also
and you have to look at it from an objective
Jason
place.
Tatum didn't make. Whether that was defense on Luka, whether that was the pass to Dirk White to set up the game-winning shot, whether that was the game-winning shot or game-clinching shot that he hit, like those things matter too. So Tatum had better stats as far as like he averages more rebounds, he averages more assists because he has the ball more. But points was not that different. Tatum averaged more, but it was like a point and a half.
And when you look at when you look at fourth quarter scoring in that series, it was all either it was Jaylen Brown or it was Derek White and Jrue Holiday. When it came down to times where things really needed to happen, the ball was not in Jason Tatum's hand because he's going to shoot a fadeaway three.
And we saw that this year in the playoffs.
That was something that was a very consistent thing that was like, okay, either he disappeared because he's not having a great game, or he's like, we just can't count on him down the stretch. And that was the thing that came. That's why Jaylen Brown won. So you can just look at it at the numbers and say, oh, based on these numbers, it's a lot closer than the other.
So let me ask you this.
Series, nobody thought that he was the better player.
That's the same argument that you can use. That's the same argument you use.
Thank
Kobe,
you.
Though, is in those moments, Kobe is always the nigga that stepped up.
That's what I'm saying. So how do we do that? Like, that's my point.
Because you know how we do that? Because when I watch Jason Tatum, he looks nothing like Kobe. That's how we do that.
Yeah.
No. What I'm saying is it's used against Kobe in a bad way.
I don't think that it is.
But we all know.
No.
That's what makes Kobe Kobe. You can't turn that off.
I don't think that it is because if you look at hold on real quick, Rez. I'm sorry. Because if you look at that stuff, and you look at the actual, who made the shot, who missed the shot, LeBron is actually a lot better than Kobe in those moments.
Yes, he is.
He's had a lot more moments though.
No, he hasn't.
No, he doesn't.
He has had a lot more moments.
No, they have the numbers, bro. They have the numbers.
Then please put these numbers up. I need to hear these numbers then.
I think it's like 8 to 12.
Please put these numbers up that y'all speaking of.
When it comes to the clutch shot, like Bron has like 12 of them, and I think
And
Kobe has 8.
we also seen Bron just pass the ball to niggas that don't deserve to shoot the ball.
No. We're not.
No, I'm just saying though. If you want about the whole criteria, like
on shots in clutch time, bro, like dead serious.
Yeah, I'm serious. Like Kobe, for one, I've only seen LeBron make on a couple clutch shots that actually mattered.
They all matter because it's a clutch shot to win the game. They all
so
matter.
if you're telling me a layup on going baseline against a nigga who can't play is a clutch shot.
LeBron has more.
Kobe did it against the Suns. That's a
Against
layup.
Raja Bell.
Magical.
LeBron has more.
What are we talking about?
LeBron has more go ahead baskets within 30 seconds of a game than any other player in NBA history.
30 seconds, 4 quarters.
I feel you.
LeBron had
hold on.
I feel you. And how many clutch shots has LeBron made in the finals?
See, but that's the thing.
We can't do that
culture.
though.
You're going
Because
right
now
back.
you're
I asked one question. I just asked one question. I'm about to go. It's multi-layered. I got one question. How many times has made a clutch shot in the finals?
Hold up. But let me ask you,
Mike,
let me ask you a question.
How many shots he made? How many clutch shots he made in the playoffs? If you remember,
Is clutch
over in Orlando.
Is clutch or is clutch only clutch in the finals?
No, clutch is clutch in general. I'm just asking questions based on the fact that if you know a guy's a clutch player, he's did it on multiple levels.
LeBron's done it on multiple.
That's the key.
Levels,
multiple levels, not just
Here you go right there, Mike.
But the problem with that question.
Here you go right here, Mike.
The problem with that question is when you say that, a lot of the times LeBron doesn't have to do that because they're already winning the game.
Right, and remember, so
the games aren't that close.
Back, so let's look at, and I just want to use a couple examples. One, the big shot that was hit by Ray Allen to send the game that game to overtime. Do you remember that the Heat were down 6?
Shot.
Remember who hit the 3 right before thing and got the rebound to pitch it
LeBron.
to?
LeBron.
And everybody forgets about that.
Like these are things that happen, dog.
Well, here you go, Mike. Here's your thing you wanted.
Okay, here we go.
LeBron leads with 7. That's what it is. He has 7, and everybody else has what? Like,
but look at that. 5 for 17. If I would have told you Kobe was 5 for 17, you wouldn't have believed me.
I would believe you because it's not the number of clutch shots, quote unquote, is always.
So where's the cutoff for LeBron? Are we counting the Lakers shit or no?
Yeah, you got to count his whole career.
Let me see when this article was. Hold on.
I mean, we can talk about the time where he didn't score a point in the fourth quarter. It gets to a point where it's topsy turvy for me. Like
he didn't
this what I just showed you. This what I just showed you, Mike, is from 2022.
This past playoffs, he didn't score a single point in the fourth quarter.
But players do that though. That happens. The problem is that we only highlight it when LeBron does it. So to your point, we're not showing Iverson love. We're not doing this. We're not showing Kobe love. You're just focusing on LeBron's bad moments as if the good ones didn't happen.
Never. But again, what good moments again?
All right, you just made the point that
we talked about. We can go serious here. We talked about LeBron. The first time they went to the finals, he melted down. Right, came back in the second finals. He did a great job. Came back that next year, they lose.
Finals.
Yeah, they lose. He goes back to Cleveland.
Spurs,
he goes back to Cleveland.
28 straight points in order to make it to the finals.
I feel you. I'm not saying he didn't play good. I'm just saying that when you compare the careers to certain guys, it don't match up. It just don't match up.
Who had the block on Iguodala?
Iguodala blocked his own self. If he just dunked the ball,
let's take it off Bron.
It would have just been perfectly fine. He decided to lay that shit up all cute and shit. Like, man, just dunk that shit.
Let's take it off Bron. Let's take it off Bron real quick. I want to do this real quick. So just because you brought up Kobe as the comparison, because I want to make sure we're having a 2-man fight. I don't want to do against the history of the NBA.
Oh, no, I'm fine. I'm chilling.
The most clutch shots for the Lakers during the Kobe era were not hit by Kobe.
No, they're hit by
Derek Fisher.
Yeah.
Robert Horry.
Ron Artest.
Agreed. Because again,
that's
the point I'm making when it comes to Tatum.
No.
He's not going to be in that scenario.
No. 2-5. I mean, Mike, you said how many of them shots that LeBron made were in the finals.
I'm talking.
That's why I said don't bring that
I'm talking
conversation
straight
up.
Kobe.
Because
No, I
it
just
diminishes
said
what we're-
multi-layered. Did we see Kobe hit clutch shots against
We've seen LeBron do it in the finals. That's my point. You can't. You're doing it. You're doing it for one. You're not doing it for the other one.
Like
That's
I think
my point.
I think this is the issue with Kobe. I think people reduce it to the game-winning shot. You know what I'm saying? They don't actually talk about clutch. They just watch the game-winning shot and say that Kobe buried this team or whatever. But clutch encapsulates a lot more than just the final shot.
It's what you do in the final moments, period. I just feel like the fourth quarter can be looked at as clutch. What have you done in that fourth quarter when the game is on the line?
Yeah,
Jason
that's how I look at it too. And a lot of times I've seen guys that are put in a certain area pass the ball to niggas. Passing the ball to George Hill, passing the ball to J.R. Smith, passing the ball to Kyle Korver.
But he also has more goals.
We can't do that.
You can't be in the same category.
Do you hold it against Jordan? So do you hold it against Jordan that John Paxson is?
No, Jordan got double teamed.
No, I know, but I'm just asking a question. I'm just.
Braun is not getting double teamed in this scenario. He's not. He's deferring to guys. That's not the same thing.
No.
He defers to George Hill.
Dallas Mike.
He could have shot the ball if he wanted to.
Dallas Mike, you could not double team when Michael Jordan played basketball.
Why couldn't you?
It was illegal. Illegal defense was a thing when Michael Jordan played basketball.
You couldn't double team Michael Jordan?
You could not double team.
I'm confused. I watch the Pistons double team all the time.
It was illegal.
You could double team. You just couldn't play zone. You couldn't be.
Yeah, like they could double team.
No, you had to have your defender within arm's reach at all points in the game. That's like you could come off for like 3 seconds. But you couldn't just go out and play like how they did LeBron, like half court, 2 people on him. They couldn't do that to Michael Jordan.
Yeah, the reason why Jordan thing worked because Jordan drove, so they would pile drive him in the actual paint. It wasn't really double team.
The player you're defending for more than 3 seconds. Illegal defense was a thing.
I feel you. That's a great point. All I'm saying is again,
and
I'm not knocking the guy like he hasn't had any good moments. I'm just saying the moments haven't stacked up enough to me. When I'm watching the totality of your career, I've seen so many
more moments than anyone else in league history.
You can't let your hate for a player.
But why do you think I hate? Why do you think I hate somebody? That's the thing. I don't hate anybody.
Because okay, so this is exactly why. Because me and you are arguing for Kobe Bryant, right?
I'm not arguing for anybody. I'm arguing for everybody to have an even playing field.
No. Look, just let me finish.
You good? Handle business and come back. We ain't gonna skip over you.
Baby said you ain't saying shit.
Oh man, my daughter did the same shit out of nowhere. Just be like, like, yo, come on, man, what you doing?
Like, what are you screaming for? My dad's losing. Do something.
Yeah, do something. I just wanted to be off the board.
No. This is my point, right? So we're arguing about the clutch gene, clutch shots, blah blah blah, right? But at the same time, you're talking shit about LeBron by saying, "Hey, this nigga had to pass to him, and he had to pass to him." But at the same time, we could do the same thing for everybody. We could say Kobe had to pass to this guy. We could say that Jordan had to pass to this guy. You cannot make an argument and be like, "Oh, LeBron sucks because Kyle Korver. LeBron sucks because Ray Allen." You can't do that because then now you got to say the same thing. Jordan sucked because he had to give the beat Kershaw. Kobe sucked because he had to give the Meta World Peace.
Have enough clutch moments when they have more clutch baskets than anyone else in the league history. Like that's weird.
Like we got to keep the conversation level.
We know for a fact stats have changed over the years. Like what stats were back then are not the same as they are now. So they call an assist if I pass you the ball out of a double team. That's not an assist.
If you hit the shot,
why not? If it's if I pass you the ball and you do less than 3 dribbles and you score,
they'll count as hey, he assisted and scored on 45 of the last. Like, bro, who gives a fuck?
But
why does it matter?
But that's
because he made a play.
That's what you want your best players to do.
But we don't go down for everybody else who did that shit.
No, but they do though. If you watch the games, and Mike, you watch basketball, you've seen them do that when Lonzo Ball was playing. You've seen them do that for Zach.
Yeah, I'm talking about before that, early 2000s. They weren't counting those type of stats.
They weren't because they didn't have advanced stats back
in the same manner.
They didn't have advanced stats, and back then,
that's my point.
Remember the story came out that that for like like the way stats were recorded were very, very, very like easy to manipulate. Like how you talked about during Michael Jordan's defensive player.
Yeah,
of the
like
year
John
thing.
Stockton
It
getting
was like
assists that he shouldn't have.
Taking
I do
giving him
agree.
steals that weren't his steals. They were giving him rebounds that weren't his rebounds. They were just putting it on his sheet. And there was no
Is that factual though? That's some shit Gill has made up. Like, come
No,
on.
that wasn't Gill. That
No,
was an
it's
actual
true.
report. That was an actual report from the Chicago Bulls.
When was this reported?
They really doubled back to it last year.
They actually had something similar about Jokic's assists either last year or this year or
Oh, you talking about the Jordan?
dog,
They
like,
inflating
it
the
was
stats.
very like that during that season. There was a big push to get him for the deep boy. So it was like he was Doug in that year. I think they said like he never averaged anywhere near like 5, like three or four assists difference between like his best year other than that year every other year since.
And honestly, so on that, there's a dude on YouTube who actually went back and looked at all the games of that season. And it didn't happen every game, but there were games where Jordan would get it wouldn't be so it's not like how Gil said it, how they just inflated the stat. What they would do was, let's say that me and you went after the ball, right? And we both, hey, woof, 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 woof. If Jordan's on the right side and Pippen's on the left, and Pippen taps the ball and Jordan touches it, that's a steal for Jordan too.
There's a lot of that was
That's what they were doing.
I feel you.
So it wasn't just flat out like, okay, let's make this shit up.
To me, that's the apples and oranges because like
no, it is.
It's been mad times where even Jordan has felt like when Magic won the MVP, he felt like he should have won it. Like he had way better stats. They went on to win more. So
he was wrong. Though. His teams were trash.
They didn't want to give it just like LeBron. LeBron should have probably 7
at least. Probably like maybe three different player of the years. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying the fact that with the things that have been put out there, they just don't seem even to me.
No, I agree.
Into what they want to do in different areas and how they want to do it and how they want to frame it. And that's the issue I have with the NBA and how they speak on sports. I just don't care for it. I don't believe that it's the way it should be done. It should be one criteria for one situation.
I agree.
That's it.
Mike,
that's it, like all this shit about
we all agree with that.
Culture and shit, nigga. If the objective is not to win a fucking championship, then why the fuck are you playing?
No, the
I don't respect niggas who don't on the court and they want to whine about what niggas ain't done. Nigga, you just didn't get it done. It's okay with being number 2.
No, but that's the thing. That's the thing. Winning is always the objective. Nobody's saying it's not the objective. LeBron wanted to win rings, and again, like I said, I don't know if you were on yet, but LeBron never said rings don't mean nothing to me. I don't care about that. What he was saying was that the media has made it that the only thing that matters in the NBA is winning a ring. And
I don't believe that though.
Nothing else matters. That's what the media tells us.
Well, I don't believe that. I mean, I think the fact that they're lazy.
When I just 5 minutes ago, when I was talking to you about Kobe and LeBron, you reduced it to how many in the finals?
How many in the finals? That's what
that was my first question. I said, how many in the finals? Y'all let me finish. I was looking more. I said, how many in the finals? How many in the regular season? How many in the playoffs? That's all I was bringing to.
When you put them all together, it's more than anybody else ever.
That's all I was saying. Is like, is it multifaceted? Is it more heavy on this side? Is it like the type of game winning joint? I board the layup. Like, you gonna count a layup as a game winning shot?
No, but see, that was the original point of the whole conversation where we missed each other.
Off the glass? Like,
but that was where we missed each other. It was never about game winners. It was about clutch shots.
Clutch. Go ahead. Like,
and that shit is subjective.
Yeah.
I can view clutch as being like,
okay. So time
out. Guy you're guarding can't guard you. Is that clutch?
Check it out. You could argue.
Craig Elo guard Michael Jordan.
You could
Thank
argue.
you. I don't look at that shot as a clutch shot for MJ. Oh, he was killing Craig Elo.
You could argue.
I'm happy he made the shot, but I don't look at that as like, oh shit, Jordan was scoring on Craig Elo. Like, damn, that nigga, he's not even close to his height.
You could argue that you disagree with how they count clutch shots, but the point is they have a definition of how they count.
Oh, for sure.
Shots. Yes,
and I respect the definition. I'm just saying,
and that's what we're using.
If you had to pick between those 3 guys, are you picking LeBron as the most clutch player, regardless of what the stats say? What did your eyes tell you?
Which guys?
That's two totally
different conversations. I know I'm having a secondary conversation.
Well, no, but this is where it gets flawed though, because when you look at Jordan, for example, you see his highlights of those shots more, but it's the same shots. So
I agree.
Your eyes will tell you Jordan always hits those shots.
Not true. Jordan is mad game winner.
Commercial.
And honestly, if we're being completely honest, when it comes to who would you rather have, and you're going
It's
off the
Kobe.
eye test, Michael Jordan has a game winner in the NBA Finals in his final game as a walk-off shot. That's fire as fuck.
Even in that commercial, Jordan was like,
He missed them.
I missed way more than I made.
Yes, exactly.
You know what I mean? But
But
that's
the reason I even brought the question up is because I don't think LeBron's willing to want to take the shot every time.
But
And that's what separates him from other guys.
Nobody
Like,
should
doesn't always
take the
have to
shot
mean
every
taking
time.
the shot either.
Nobody should take the shot every time.
Like a rebound could be clutch. Like
Michael
you know,
Jordan didn't
like,
take the shot every time. Kobe didn't take the shot every time. Melo didn't
well,
take the shot
they
every
were
time.
willing to take it every time. It's not about them actually having to take it every time. Are they willing to?
LeBron
That's
was
what separates
willing to
the
take
men from the
shot.
boys.
If you got a better
And
play,
again,
LeBron was
that's
okay,
what
so
separates.
time out.
LeBron
Y'all
would be
disagree.
willing
That's what
to take the
separates
shot.
LeBron from
LeBron
Tatum.
knows the stats.
Tatum is not willing to take the shot. He's not willing to put his shit on the line.
Oh no, Tatum will take the shot.
Without looking
No,
up
it's because LeBron knows that it's a higher percentage to give the ball to the open man in the
Tatum
corner
was
than it
taking
is
the
for
shot.
me to take this
Tatum was taking the
jumper
shot.
just because
right,
I'm LeBron James.
like,
If Kyle
without,
Korver
yeah,
is
that's what
in
I was
the
just about
corner
to say. Without
with
looking at
nobody on
any
him.
stats, I bet you Kyle Korver is probably top 15 in 3-point percentage in NBA history.
He might be
And if he's wide open, why would I not give him that shot?
Yeah.
because I'm taking that shit.
It's not like he's
And then
passing
when
it
you
to-
miss it, we
that-
gonna clown you for
that's-
that.
No,
that's
it's
it.
not
Oh,
like
well.
No, you're acting like he passed it to,
Oh well.
you're acting like he passed it to Dikembe Mutombo on the third on the three at the 3-point
I'm
line.
not
Like he was
trusting
hot-
Kyle
playing
Korver
hot
with the
potato,
ball.
like he's trying to put hot potato the ball around to somebody. So please, anybody besides me take the ball. That's never been the case with LeBron.
That's not true. He did that with George Hill.
No.
No.
Go
it's
back and watch that
open.
shit with J.R. Smith. Go back and watch it. They played hot potato for like 2 or 3 minutes with the ball in the same
They were trying
series.
to find an open shot.
What
though.
open nigga? You go make the open shot. Ain't no find an open shot. Go make
Which
it
game are
happen.
you talking about? Which game?
I'm talking about Indiana versus the Cavaliers.
You talking about game? You
Indiana
talking about
versus
game
the
one
Cavaliers?
against the game one against the Warriors?
Bro, how many times has Indiana beat the Cavaliers in the playoff series with LeBron on the team?
0.
What are you talking about?
What you talking about?
My mistake.
Oh, I thought you were talking. No, I thought you were talking about. I thought you were talking
I
about.
am talking about.
Come on,
I am
dog.
talking about Golden State
You know I
against
love you, dog.
Cleveland.
Yeah, game. That was the 51-8 game.
My bad. Yeah, I'm talking about.
Mike, I love you, bro.
Hold on.
Dog, when you said
Hold on,
that, I was
you're
like,
right.
this guy
Ain't
did
none
not
of
just
these
say the
niggas-
Pacers, man. I know this
My
guy
fault.
didn't do that.
I was thinking about Golden State. Please forgive me.
Like
Yeah,
even
that
like
was-
George
yeah,
Teague,
that was the
not
51-8
George Teague.
game.
What's man? Jeff Teague. Jeff Teague was talking on his podcast. By the way, I don't listen to his podcast yet, but that's the one I'm going to get into very soon.
I think they
No,
do a clip
Jeff
though.
Teague's podcast.
The totality of their podcast is not good.
But like
They have
so-
good moments though. That
had-
shit, I watch that shit is boring most of the time.
He had a clip where he was saying, he said, my entire career, I've never beat LeBron in a playoff series. He said, people act like LeBron, like people aren't afraid. Like he's like, he said, I played a long time in the league. I have mad series on multiple teams against LeBron. I have never beaten LeBron in a playoff series.
I mean, that's not hard to say when you play. You got both of your teammates are really good players.
No, that's not always the case, dog.
I mean, it has been always the case though.
See, hold up, time out. Do you see what you're doing right now?
What did I do? I just told the truth.
If we said these same statements about Kobe, you would
Kobe
say
or Michael Jordan,
because
you would
Kobe
never
dominated because Kobe
That's
X
what
Y
you-
Z
yep,
with
that's
LeBron.
what
No,
You're like,
because
that's
Kobe
what-
played
hard
with
to do.
Kobe played with Andrew Bynum, an old ass metal world piece.
Kobe played with Shaquille O'Neal.
Hey, hold on.
No,
What you're not gonna do?
Kobe
What you're
played
not gonna
with
do is pretend that Andrew
when
Bynum was
Kobe
ass.
the
Andrew
only-
Bynum was ass. We're not gonna give
No.
Andrew Bynum any credit.
No, he was not.
No,
No, he
Andrew
wasn't.
Bynum
Decrepit
played
knees.
with
He only
Andrew
had one good season, and that was the one that
Andrew
he
Bynum.
didn't win a championship in the second year.
And the one
Andrew
good
Bynum,
season was when they
Pau
went to the
Gasol.
finals. And I don't do that.
Kobe
Andrew
played
Bynum
with
was
Andrew
dope. He was
Bynum
that-
when
Bruh.
he was the only person that had twin towers in the league.
Nobody wanted Andrew Bynum on their
They
team.
were the only
Gasol.
team that had twin towers.
Ron Artest, Derek Fisher.
No, I'm just talking shit. But no,
You know we love you, bro.
that shit funny as hell to say. Yo, Andrew Bynum was not great, yo.
No,
I'm
he
not about
wasn't
to give
great. He
Andrew
wasn't
Bynum
great.
credit.
Andrew Bynum was
He
good
wasn't
in
better than
that
Kevin
season.
Love or Kyrie Irving
Andrew Bynum worked really
or
well.
Bosh or Wade.
Kevin Love do that season.
Nah, we're doing the LeBron comparison.
No, I'm just saying though. We're comparing.
What did Kevin
Jeff
Love do?
said he
Bynum
played against
doing
LeBron and didn't.
No,
What
we all
team
agreed
did
to
Jeff
that.
Teague was supposed to beat LeBron with? The Hawks team?
Yeah, the Hawks
Everybody else.
that won 60 games and had the best record in the league and had
Who
4
was that?
All-Stars.
Yeah, again, you're talking about a guy and Joe Johnson who just that one-on-one shit cool for
Well,
go
no.
play against Michael Beasley, my nigga. But this
Kevin
NBA.
Love was hurt in that series too.
Doug, Doug,
What series? Which one?
Jeff T.
No,
How many
That
years did
same
Jeff T
one.
play?
That was the year that Kelly Olynyk pulled Kevin Love's shoulder out the socket.
Dog. Let me go to Basketball Reference.
I think Jeff T played 12 years.
He
And
might
Jeff
have
T
played
was
15.
never a good player. He was just he was alright to me. He
But
got
I'm not
traded
even
like 7
but I'm not
times.
talking
Like
specifically about Jeff T.
He was
I'm
an
talking about the
all-star.
fact that throughout his career, this man can never say, I have one series win against this guy.
I feel you. I mean,
Regardless
that's
of
the
what team he was
conversation.
on.
Even when Atlanta had the
Crazy.
60 wins.
Did y'all
and
believe in that
everything,
team though? For
God.
real, like a lot of these teams was inflated.
No,
Like the Raptors teams, the
no,
baby
guess what?
dinosaurs. Them niggas wasn't good either.
No, I didn't believe in them, but they still made the Eastern Conference Finals.
And honestly, you can believe in them. It's just LeBron James.
Right.
is
I do
better.
agree. He was better.
T played 12 years in the league.
So I don't expect him to beat a nigga who's better than them. I just, it is what it is.
But also, like I said though, Kevin Love didn't even play in that series. So why wouldn't you think Atlanta had a chance?
Because
I had
they
to go
had
back and rewatch this shit. I'm not gonna make up
because
this
they
shit
had
and
LeBron.
see how I
That's
watch
why.
that shit.
No,
I
but
actually forgot about this shit.
that's what I'm
personally.
saying. Just like that finals, when people talk about his finals record, he went up against Golden State without Kyrie and Kevin Love.
And I give him credit. And I would have given MVP of that series personally.
Yeah,
He is MVP.
Yeah, in my
He's
head,
the
he is
finals
too.
MVP. I don't care.
Real
what nobody
talk.
says.
And
That's
again,
LeBron.
that's why I don't understand why niggas got. I don't hate on. I tell the truth.
Yo, wait.
I don't hate on nobody.
Yo, wait.
I
Not
give
only did
LeBron way more credit than y'all give me credit for.
Not only did he not win a playoff game against a playoff series against him, he didn't win a playoff game against LeBron.
Well, there you go.
Jeff
Jeff
T.
Teague, he
didn't
doesn't have one win.
win.
Well, I mean,
There you go.
I just, honestly, this conversation, I hate this conversation because it's basically Jordan
And
LeBron again.
but that's why again back to ring culture.
But
Which is why
is it really though? I don't really think it is. I just think we're talking about across the board the dynamics within.
Like, you gotta be honest with yourself. We were talking about Kobe, and somehow look where we're at.
No, what happened?
We went
What
from
happened
Kobe-
was
That's
no.
the weakest
What
point we're at.
what happened was we tried to give LeBron credit for stuff, and you didn't like it because it didn't look like Kobe and Mike. Like he did it differently, so you didn't respect it.
I don't respect it.
I know.
okay, that's okay. Hey, who y'all got winning the finals?
I'm just saying. I'm here to win. I'm a type of guy. When I play, bro, give me the shot, bro. I don't give a shit if two niggas on me. Give me the shot.
That's the thing. But no,
I'm
but
gonna
Mike,
create the shot.
That's the thing.
Mike, those are two different arguments.
You can't say that when the dude
Mike,
has the
those are two
shots.
different arguments, bro. You can't say I'm here to win and I want to take the shot no matter what. Because if you're here to win,
Yeah.
you want the best shot.
No, I'm gonna take the shot that I think is the best shot.
No, but that's the thing. You take
Yeah,
the
that's
shot,
not
you're
winning.
the best shot.
No, me taking
that's
taking the shot is the best shot.
No, it's not. Not always. No, it never is.
Okay, I'm
That's
telling
never
you.
the
I'm
case.
telling you.
Okay, Mike. No.
I'm
You
telling
say
you,
that, right? You taking the shot.
I'm letting you know right
Now,
now.
if
Me
you're
shooting this
Michael
bitch right now is the best shot.
No.
No, if you're Michael Jordan and you're in the corner for a three, and Steve Kerr is on the other side, butt naked, you think Michael Jordan thinks, "Hey, I should
No,
take
he
this
doesn't.
three,
Yes.
not Steve"?
No,
The
he
coach
does
told
not.
him to pass the ball to Steve
Ain't
Kerr.
no-
He didn't want to pass that shit.
He did though.
He did though because he's a good teammate.
Right. No, because he's a smart basketball
No, because
player.
he knows Steve.
I'm
gonna
only
knock
talking about
that shit
mentality,
down.
guys. I'm not saying I wouldn't pass the ball. See, it's
Got
all
you,
about
got you,
words. I said I would if I needed to, but I don't want to.
Okay, and LeBron James did because he needed to. So give him that credit for being smart enough to pass the ball and having
Right,
the
and I
IQ
think,
to
and
do
I
it.
think
just
we're
like Kobe
also
Bryant
blaming
did.
LeBron because the play didn't work.
Right. That too. No,
Like,
And
Kyle-
I'd rather LeBron have shot the ball himself than pass to a
No,
guy
I'm
and know
just
that's
saying,
not
if
good at
Kyle
him.
I
Korver,
don't
if
like
Kyle
my players
Korver
jacking
hits
up
that
shots for no
shot,
reason.
we're not even having this conversation.
Agreed.
No,
if Ray
no,
Allen
no,
don't hit
no.
that shot, then we are having a different conversation.
No,
That's what I'm like.
No, 2-5. Because no, we actually are. Because
Well,
the
LeBron didn't
the
pass it
critique
to
isn't
Ray Allen.
whether or not the play worked at all. His critique is that LeBron passed the ball at all.
Yeah, we want you to shoot the ball, bro.
But my
Shoot
point
that bitch.
is, my point is,
No,
if the shot
don't.
falls, there's no real reason to criticize somebody for passing. Like when Steve Kerr hit that shot, if he misses that shot, that's a
We
whole
like
different
why you pass that shit, MJ?
right. But since he hit it, there's no reason to bring it up.
BJ
100%.
Armstrong,
And that's my only
BJ
point.
Armstrong.
That's my only point. Dog, I'm the same across the board. I would have been like, Jordan, what the fuck is MJ doing?
No, because MJ is a basketball
Again,
player.
if you watch the last shot with
It's first.
great punt, the last shot against Utah. Yo, this nigga Scottie Pippen was wide open and wanted the ball, and Jordan waved that nigga up. Get the fuck out of here, nigga. You not me.
Because he had the better matchup.
That's what he told him, bro.
But
You're not me.
back to your point. Back to your point. What you said earlier. You said, "Oh, if the person can't guard you, then that's not a clutch shot." And you just used as an example Byron Russell. What do you see Byron Russell compared to Michael Jordan?
at all. He's not a good defender at all.
So that's 2 of his most important shots that do not count to you.
No, they weren't. That
Okay,
to me, it
cool.
counted because we won. That was it.
Now make the Clutch Jordan argument. Go.
We got 96 against Utah, game I think 3 in Chicago, I believe. Fade away.
Hey, can we not do it? Can we not have this Jordan
He
conversation
wanted to do
anymore?
this. So, I mean,
no, but just because I'm just trying to figure out what the clutch shots were.
we got Portland. We got Portland in the finals. 6 for 6 from 3.
Hold on, wait. Hold
up. Okay, the timeout. Hold up, man. I jumped in now.
The bench brought him back.
Hold up. Yep. That's exactly what I was about to bring up. The closeout.
All I'm saying though, that was clutch shots though.
The Bulls were down 18. Jordan and Pippen was on the bench, and
they were.
Bench brought them back.
But Jordan closed the deal though.
Yeah, but they don't even get to close the deal if it wasn't for the bench.
I do agree.
Who on the Portland Trailblazers could guard Michael Jordan?
Clyde Drexler, they said. That's what they said.
Do you believe that?
No.
So that's 3.
I don't think anybody on the planet can guard
that you got to take off of it.
I mean, again, he's not going to win any of this. I don't think anybody's better than MJ. So it don't matter who he win against. It doesn't matter. He was going to be better than him.
All I'm doing is using your logic, bro. That's all I'm doing. I promise.
Great logic. And one thing I'm going to say too that people never do is they never talk about the Houston Rockets team that got Clyde Drexler. He's the only reason why they win and they go to the finals because they was in the 5th seed before they got Clyde Drexler.
I agree.
I mean, they finished the 6th still.
Exactly. I'm saying, as far as they never would have got to that point if they never got Clyde Drexler because that team was struggling to even sniff board.
How y'all celebrating Juneteenth, bro?
And they want to say that we were scared of the Rockets. They were the lowest seeded team to win the finals.
Finally won a game. That's dope.
This is my 3rd win.
We've been watching. That's the first win we saw. We've been watching.
Well, it's diabolical, dog. No, because the last one was 23-5.
Yeah, you was getting beat down last.
We wanted to shit on the Rockets and what they thought they were gonna do.
Kobe missed a lot of clutch shots, but we don't show highlights of missed shots, missed game winners. So
do you know who have a lot of game winners, guys?
So people have this thought that Kobe just never missed a game winner.
Do y'all know who has a lot of game winners, guys?
Who?
Tyrese Halliburton, who's playing in the finals now.
He does.
So now that he's gone down, guys, what do we think? What do we think happens here?
OKC wins the game.
I got Indiana.
I thought OKC won even if Halliburton was playing. So like, doesn't make a difference.
Do you think Indiana pushes it to 7?
If he's only going to score 4 points again?
Oh yeah. Sure. He didn't even show up, bro. Like that's it. He wasn't even looking to score.
I think he was hurt by then. I think by then they knew something was. Really
well, he's been hurt since like game 2.
Yeah, it's like if he's hurt, don't play him. You got TJ McConnell.
Because I think I shared it in the group. He was limping out of that press conference.
He was.
Yeah,
but Stephen A. and them didn't. They didn't report that.
Of course not. They're never going to report that.
Of course not. Because how can he center himself in that discussion?
Yeah, and that's the thing. But that's another thing that I don't want to happen though. Once Oklahoma City wraps this series up, I don't want people to come back and be like,
"Well, what's the problem?"
I didn't tell you about Halliburton. Or like, oh, Halliburton, he didn't do that. Like as if he didn't have an improbable playoff run anyway.
No, he had a great run, amazing run.
My question is, what does the NBA between now? So we got 2 more games potentially, like at most 2 more games in the finals.
Yeah.
What does the NBA need to do between now and next year, the start of next season? If you're commissioner of the NBA and your job is to make sure they're positioning those players for true superstardom, what are you doing between now and October?
I'm putting SGA, Anthony Edwards, Jalen Brunson, and maybe one other player. I would say Jokic, but he just doesn't have that personality to care. But I would put them in big time places. Today Show. I would put somebody on The View if you got to.
Yeah.
Put them at WWE. Put them at whatever you just get their faces.
Yeah,
out
I'm sending Tyrese Halliburton back to the WWE just to be part of the storyline.
Yeah, that's like I'm having Tyrese Halliburton cost Logan Paul a world title or something, and you know what I mean, just a distraction. And because you got to see there because they have.
Hey, look, honestly, forget all that. Hey. This wrestling Goldberg thing.
Hold on, wait. Let me hold on. Let's answer that question first.
Dog,
He blew a load too early. Come on, Jack. Yeah.
what was that? We just started
So
this topic.
That was way left field, Jack. Yeah, that's
I would, but y'all
You're wrong.
like
I ain't gonna lie. It's because Dallas Mike has ruined basketball for me for the rest of the day.
the NBA has the advantage. The NBA has the advantage because the NFL wears helmets.
Correct.
So like people should know what Paul George looks like.
Correct.
Should know what Tyrese Maxey, maybe to a lesser degree, know what he looks like. But y'all gonna know what they look like by the end of the summer because they're gonna be everywhere.
Everywhere.
You know what I'm saying? And then I'm looking at my schedule makers and I'm saying, look, the Lakers don't need 39 national TV games. Like maybe they do just because they're on the West Coast and you got to get that time slot. But to some degree, you know what? No Jason Tatum. Boston doesn't need 34 national TV games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
2-5. Does it matter how attractive the player is?
No. Put Houston in that spot because they were our number 2 seed this year that came out of nowhere. They're in trade talks for Kevin Durant. So maybe we get lucky and they get Kevin Durant. But even if not, that's a team that's rising. So if they make the NBA Finals or get to the Western Conference Finals next year, I don't want y'all to have the excuse of we don't know who this team is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Hey,
that's what happened to Oklahoma City. They won 68 games this year.
They've been hooping all year, bro.
Who's the
all
most
year.
recognizable non-LeBron
Without
player? Who's the most recognizable below 30-year-old player in the league? Most
Luka.
recognizable.
Probably Luka.
Luka.
Either him or Anthony Edwards.
Okay,
yeah.
So Luka. So okay, this is my pitch.
Or Trae Young.
World Cup 2026 is coming. It's in North America.
Trae.
Right. So what I do is I get my top 5 NBA recognizable players under 30 years old, and I attach them to some kind of promotion tied to the World Cup.
I might even have somebody call out Noah Lyles. You know what I'm saying? Join up on this cheetah joint.
Why not?
Hey, Noah Lyles is about to destroy Tyrese.
Especially considering that it was especially because but I'm just saying, especially considering that it was the NBA that he was talking about when he made the comment.
Yeah, he's won the World Cup. Yep. World Championship.
Champions of what? He was talking about the Celtics.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Yeah, he's stupid though.
It's because he's lame though. Like nobody likes him. Like, bro,
I ain't got no beef with him.
Why don't I have shoes? Where are my shoes?
He's a weird type of dude though, for sure.
The only thing that I will say about Noah Lyles and this whole Tyreek Hill thing is Tyreek Hill, like, I appreciate him going out to run, but respectfully, bro, if you're running a 10, shut the fuck up trying to challenge an Olympic nigga who's running 9.6.
He shouldn't be running against Olympics.
Like he almost lost against T.O. and that nigga is 48 years old.
I don't got no beef with Noah Lyles, like to some degree. Like one of the things that we always talk about is people need to speak up, keep it real, XYZ, whatever. He spoke up and was like, hey, you know, like we're representing the United States, XYZ. Like, I don't mind him doing that.
Yeah, and he had a good perspective though. It was definitely a fresh perspective. Like I had never heard that before.
I think it's just
now you can argue that he's corny. He absolutely is.
Yeah, his voice is corny.
I don't have a problem with him doing what he did.
I actually liked it. I was able to talk about it more personally.
I never like when people try to make their light shine brighter by dimming somebody else's. He can make the point for what he was trying to make the point of without trying to diminish.
But you know what though? If he would have did what you're saying, and I'm not necessarily disagreeing.
It would fall on deaf ears.
Nobody would have paid attention to anything.
Yeah, you're right.
And we would have been. He would have went to the Olympics, and people would have said, "Who the hell does Noah Lyles dude?"
All right. Yep. So then criticize MLB players. Because they call it the World Series.
Well, you know nobody.
But you gotta know, but when he said it, saying the World Series wouldn't have mattered because he said it in the summer. So you know what I mean. The World Series was over 8 months ago before he made that statement.
No, they were heading up to getting ready for a World Series right before.
Well, the World Series isn't until October.
Right, but the Olympics were in July.
He made that comment in like April or something like that.
Before the NBA Finals,
6 months before the. Oh no, actually, he might have made it. No, he made it right after the Celtics won. Actually.
So what would make Noah Lyles cool?
The point being is that the World Series isn't until October. So if he would have said World Series, it would have still been out of place and corny because you'd have been talking about a sport that ain't even playing right now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm saying. It's the same thing, right? We always complain about, why they always talking about LeBron? Why they always talking about the Cowboys? because that's when people watch. So if I get on TV and I talk about the Jacksonville Jaguars, ain't nobody watching that.
So
Nope.
they do the clickbaity thing, right?
Yeah, that's what you got to do to get in that space.
See, but that's the thing. I don't respect people who do that.
So there's a difference. If that's all, to me, if that's all you do, I agree.
Name something else he said.
But I also have to take advantage of, because we're talking about a bunch of ignorant people that only have a certain attention span and only care about a select topics of things.
Mm-hmm.
So for me to get noticed that first time, I have to latch on to something like that to get my message out. Now, after that, I should be, once I get the notoriety or whatever, I should be able to do my own organic thing now. But I gotta get in that space in the first place to be relevant.
But you're not. But he did that and he's still not in that space.
We're still talking about him.
No, somebody just brought him up. So we're talking about it because we reacted to what he
No,
brought
but
up.
I'm saying,
we do the podcast
this whole thing with him and Tyreek Hill,
4
this
times a
whole-
week.
It's gonna be a thing.
this whole thing with him and Tyreek Hill doesn't happen if he brought up the World Series.
But he didn't bring up the.
Well, I mean, it doesn't happen regardless.
He didn't bring
You're
up the
right. But I
NFL.
think it's all about the. Yeah, I
Oh,
think
well,
Tyreek Hill is just fast as shit, and he was like, you know what, this will be cool, because honestly, what would actually be more important would be Noah Lyles versus I Show Speed. People would care
See?
about that.
That
Nobody knows
I
how
have
fast
no
he
idea
is.
who that is.
I'm about to. Who was that?
He's a
He's a streamer.
YouTuber.
I know who he
Let me,
is.
let me ask y'all this. Why do we keep giving these niggas like so much credit and love and shit? Like
Who, the YouTubers?
every time
Because this is a
I
young
watch
man's-
this shit, I'm like, yo, why is niggas going to like? Why is Young Thug hanging with Aiden Ross and these weird ass niggas? Like, why?
I'm gonna be honest with you, Dallas Mike. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's because
they got to shine.
it's just like when I was younger and adults didn't understand what this YouTube thing was and why are you taking pictures and putting it on MySpace. It's just a new wave. Young people like streamers.
love 'em.
They like to
They
watch
love
these
'em.
niggas
But-
stream and talk.
But
about
I
their life.
watch again. I'm
It's-
in the classroom. I watch these niggas do the shit. I be like, this shit is lame as hell.
Bro, little kids.
You
It
niggas
is,
is watching
but
other
also,
niggas play,
you're not-
and you're not
Yeah,
playing.
like little kids watch other people play video games.
It's the
Yeah,
weirdest
you're
thing
not
in the world.
playing the game. I'm like, why you not playing the game? Oh, no, we're just watching them play.
We're watching
My nigga,
Zach play
yo,
right now.
I'm cool.
This is exactly what they watch. They watch niggas
Yeah,
do this
what
shit
Zach
and
is
talk.
doing right
That's
now,
all
that's
they
what they do.
I'm cool.
Like we could be on Twitch. Like if we was doing this on Twitch, we
That
could
shit is not entertaining to me. Like, I feel like those guys are getting paid bread
I
by
agree.
sponsors and shit,
I agree.
and they get
that's-
extra
that's
elevated
why I
and
said
boosted
it.
to
I
make
agree.
kids
That's the
zombies.
thing,
No
but that's
bullshit.
the thing. You're not the demographic. You know what I'm
They're
saying?
Of course not. I know I'm not
Yeah.
demographic.
When
And
I play NBA 2K, right? I'm still the old school dude that plays my season by myself against the computer, you
Mhm.
know, whatever.
fact.
So they phased me out. They got all this my player and VC stuff that I'm not going to spend $200 to create a
Yep.
player or whatever. Like, I'm not the demographic.
I
Yeah.
feel you. I definitely understand it. I'm just saying, far as why is a
It's
nigga like Young Thug doing it though? That's the difference.
If he's trying to
that's-
get
because that's how you get
notoriety,
access to- that's how
But
you
Young
get access
Thug is
to the
already
younger-
Young Thug.
But that's how you
yeah,
get
but
access to
you
the
can
younger
always be, but you
demographic.
can always be bigger though.
Pause.
Like that's
Right.
like
Young
saying,
Thug is younger
hypothetically,
than
right?
us.
Hypothetically, let's say somebody like Jay-Z or Nas went on The View or whatever. It's like, why y'all on The View? It's just a different audience that is not
Demographic.
familiar with you, and you expanding. And
I
that's what
respect it.
that's what Young Thug is doing.
I don't know. I mean, I feel it, but I'm just like, yo,
Because I've never heard of Young
I'm not a type of person that likes to expand. Paul, that sounded crazy. But
Pause.
Thug.
You should
No,
always
like that,
expand,
like-
my guy. Pause.
I'm always value like before RP Frankie Beverly. Like I would give an analogy like Frankie Beverly and them only put out like 5 albums, bro, and they toured their whole life off that shit.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Like Isley Brothers don't have like like it's just certain things to me when you expand too much, you leave yourself out there. Like look at the brand Hardys. That shit is fucked up now. People still eat there. People still go there.
If it's
But-
about
Because they
money,
want
if
made
it's about
chicken.
money and all that, though, think about how much money Frankie Beverly and Maze left on the table.
Well, some,
But what
some,
their brand may not have been as good. Like look at KFC.
Right.
That's a shitty brand.
some people may say that they left money on the table, but they may say we did exactly what we came here to
No,
do.
that's fine. No, that's fine. I'm just making a point for the purpose of
Yeah, I get it.
conversation.
Of course, but it's like
It depends on what you
again,
value.
look at
It depends-
Lionel
it depends on
Richie.
what you value.
Look how great Lionel Richie was with the Commodores. As soon as he went solo and he expanded, look what he became. Nothing.
Right, but
No, Mike, you say that, but look at Lionel Richie. He's also one of the hosts
His
on American
daughter, his
Idol.
daughter
He's
got a
also the
TV
most
show.
popular
It
Commodore of
depends
all
on what
time.
you value.
He's the most popular Commodore of all time. So to you, where you look at it, maybe you think he sold out or
But
whatever.
I'm not even
He's
saying from a
looking at it
sellout
like,
perspective. I'm just saying.
no, I'm just saying in general, he's like, yo, I expanded my brand and now I'm a forever thing. The Commodores are niggas, like niggas know the Commodores. But at the end of the day, if you watch American Idol,
Lionel
all
Richie.
you know is,
Yeah.
oh, that's Lionel Richie. He's the host
But
of
also,
American
but it
Idol.
comes back to also what you value, right? Like, so, like, there's things I could do in my life that would make me more money, right? But it would cost me something.
Thank you, brother. That's what I'm trying to get to.
And what?
But that's my point.
Because of what
It's
I
I just don't
value,
think he.
right?
Yeah, I don't.
Because of what
What?
I value, I'm not gonna make that move because I'm not willing to give up what it costs to get there. So for some
Right.
people, the costs outweigh because they're like, oh, well, I value for like Young Thug. Young Thug maybe have the label saying, hey,
Yes.
it's cool that you're selling this many
That's
records.
what
but
I'm
we
talking
need you to
about
be able
right
to
there.
sell this many records in order to justify the advance that we gave you when you signed on with our label. So that's industry politics that factor in.
So now you're bringing up my bigger point now.
Yeah.
Now I'm not gonna take credit for this. I heard somebody say this recently. I think it was Charleston White actually. This is the only reason I wanted to say this. Lil Wayne album came out. It didn't get a good review.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
Lil Wayne also sold his catalog
Yep.
for $100 million.
Yes, he did.
I think maybe 2018, maybe something like that. I don't know. Maybe I don't know the numbers, but
He did the same thing. Yeah.
for 100 million, 100 million. Now, government took half of that. So that's probably 50, maybe 60 that you got. If you want to live off that for the rest of your life, all the Lil Wayne songs, all the shit you done, why would you expand yourself and sell yourself out like that? When you just could have just kept being Lil Wayne.
Because I mean, there's been rumors for years
You know
that
why?
he was broke.
You want to know
What
the
do you
truth?
value?
The truth is because niggas don't know no better when they're young and they blow through all their money. So when they get old, they have to sell their catalog because they don't have anything else because they didn't have anybody to teach them
Look at
financial
Iverson.
literacy.
Look at
So as
Iverson.
they get older, they get
Iverson early. Somebody had to put his money away and be like, you can't touch it till you're 45.
Yeah, they put a clause in his
Yeah,
Reebok
and he
contract.
only gets a certain amount of his money per year. Like he gets like $1 million per year or something like that.
That's just sad, man.
No,
That's
but what's
That's what I'm
crazy is
saying.
running up until his 40th birthday, like he was literally just living off of the hope of turning 40 so he was broke. Hey,
yeah, the Adidas deal, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I mean,
Reebok.
no, I'm sorry, Reebok. Pardon
Yeah,
me,
he
Reebok.
was broke, and so so again, just based on what you value, and so I try. One thing I've literally tried to do is like I try not to judge people's situation because I don't know one what their situation is, and two, I don't know this move may be something that they really really want. But for me, like a great example, my wife's always like, "Hey, I want to move," and I'm like, "I love the house we live in. We built the house that we wanted.
Facts.
I love the house that we live in. It's close to everything that we need. We're not too far from stuff that we want. Could we be closer? Sure, we can move to Charlotte and get season tickets to the Hornets or to the Panthers and do that because I want to live in a city. Like those are things that I value. So when I move, I'm going to be willing to give it up what stuff costs. My kids sort of probably a little bit more spread out than they are right now. Right now, my kids are going to the same school, so I value the fact that my kids can go to the high school that they started out in and graduate. So once the twins graduate, that's something we can start saying, okay, now that won't cost us that. So now what do we value in our empty nester years? So I'm trying to get closer to the beach or I'm either getting closer to a beach or I'm getting closer to a place where I can be in a walkable city with franchises that I can own season tickets to. That's what I value, right? And then I'll sell my house. But before then, I'm not selling my house so just I can move in this same area in a house that's our size or smaller and I don't have any of the things that I value any closer to me.
Facts. Well said. That's what I always try to figure out when I see different things like that. What's the plus of it? Mm-hmm. Like, I literally watched the joint. It's another little guy, on the joint. These niggas just seem lame and say I could see if they were like, okay, kind of cool. They just be doing some weirdo shit.
Nah,
the IMC dude be going to China and I just don't. I don't see even the Casanat thing. I'm like, it's funny, but I respect this also in his brand, but it's like, do I need to go to you and say, hey, is my music hot? Like that shit seems contrived to me. It seems a part of the system.
But you got to remember too, for some people at the end of the day, it's a business. Like I put all this sweat and all this.
There's another dub for y'all.
Like remember the other day where was it Castanet? He didn't know who Wale was.
Yes,
Wale.
That's a disservice though. Like
no, that's the point because now even though that was a weird, awkward situation, more people are going to know Wale now.
That
True.
was an awful outfit right there.
True,
I don't
but
like that outfit at all.
like my thing is again, hip hop is based off of street culture, it's based off just having history, and I think again that's why I try to teach you. I had a kid tell me he didn't know what Juneteenth was, so that's the problem. I
Teach 'em
feel like
right.
I'm starting to see with young kids. They don't even know the history of what. Like you can't say I'm happy to have this day off, but you don't even know why you got the day off.
I would argue.
You know,
I
a
would
lot of
argue
people
that
didn't know what Juneteenth was until
I
about
would
4
argue
years
Yeah,
that-
agreed.
I would
Until it
argue
became
that
law.
in my age
My son
group,
has been celebrating Juneteenth for years.
I would argue that in my age group and a little bit higher, if you didn't grow up in the South, Juneteenth wasn't a thing.
Yes,
true.
100%,
It's
Correct.
true.
100%.
Correct.
So
I
that's
didn't
what I'm
really know much
saying.
about
So how we
Juneteenth
expect
until it
them to
became
know
law.
if we didn't
No,
know?
no,
So
I'm
most
not
people-
shitting
yeah,
on him
most
the fact
people
he
are
don't
new
know.
to
I'm
it.
just saying the fact that he don't know, and it's been 4 years since we got the jump. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
what are they teaching you in the grades before this? He's a rising 7th grader. So what are y'all discussing during these time frames when Juneteenth is being discussed? Because they were, I know for a fact I'm watching it on TV, and people are starting to understand it more. But like I said, I've already been hip to it already. So it's like when I'm looking at the aspect of like, okay, he in hip hop, he's in media. You got Nicki Minaj go up there doing music, but you don't know who Wale is.
Right.
Like Lil Yachty didn't want to freestyle, or he didn't like the fact that the verse the beat was Biggie verse. I mean the beat was a Biggie John. He didn't want to freestyle over it.
No, that was
But you
like-
also gotta remember with somebody like
My bad,
Wale,
ladies. Yeah.
Wale was never mainstream at all, though. Like, you know what I mean? So
No. Hell, no. Wale was 100%. So in 2011, 2012, it was Drake, Wale,
Kendrick.
Cole,
Kendrick.
and
Yeah, they was mainstream for a period of time.
oh, and
disappeared.
Kendrick and Big Sean.
Yeah.
It
But
was
then
them
you
Don't
Those
forget
six.
Tony
six.
Montana
Those
and Same Damn
Those
Time
five.
dropped in 2010 and
Now
2011.
you back. There's my dog. I
But
was
then,
looking for
but
you.
then, relatively speaking,
My bad, Cup. You're right.
Here.
Future was definitely in that mix. My fault.
You
I
know,
think Future
sorry,
gets shit on
sorry,
too much though. We
sorry.
gotta start
Sorry,
giving Future
Meathead.
more credit.
But Future,
Sorry, Meathead.
okay, hold up. Pause. No, we're not
Pause.
doing that. Future was never in the mix like
Bro,
that.
stop,
Uh-oh.
bro.
Meaning if
No,
Future
you
can get
have to
hot-
chill with the bias. No, you have to
No.
chill with the
Work the
bias.
giant
You
up.
have to
No,
chill with the
y'all live
bias.
up north. No, we're not
Because
doing that.
until
We're not doing
you
that.
pull
We're
up
not doing
until you pull up the
not doing
billboards,
that.
until you pull up the billboards and the streams and also the debt pip
push
stats
dream is
to
over.
show,
Hey, nah,
bro.
like
Until
We're not
you
doing
prove
that.
no,
We're not
until
doing
you
that. I
prove,
live in the
bro.
South. We're not
I live
doing
in the
that.
South
We're
too,
not doing
my
that.
dog.
I live
Bro,
here.
for one,
Y'all are so
Texas,
innocent.
you can talk the Texas South as versus the actual SEC.
No, I lived in
my dog.
Atlanta.
Come
We're
on,
not
bro.
doing that.
If you lived in
We're not
Atlanta,
gonna
then
sit up
you
here.
absolutely
I bet you
know,
won't go
bro.
outside and say that shit right now and say Future
You
won't
will
shit in Atlanta
never
right
say
now.
you will
I
Bro,
guarantee
never
you
say
won't say
that
that
shit
shit.
in the streets of Atlanta. You
Have in
absolutely won't.
2007 and say that Jeezy, you can
This
pretend
nigga
that
talking
Jeezy
about,
was
bro.
smaller than Gucci Mane, but he
Hey,
never
And we
was.
still talk about
Gucci
in
was never
hindsight
against
two
the
artists
actual
in Gucci and Jeezy that will still never have the legacy that Future left on the rap
Oh, I
game.
need a new drop.
Yes, Future's legacy didn't get hot until Drake
Oh,
got on him.
Ooh, pause.
Ooh, damn.
And
Are
niggas
you
don't want to
fuck,
hear that
bruh?
because they're
My
fans.
nigga,
Hold on.
was Future
We're
not
fans.
doing the Super Bowl before he ever did a song with Drake? What are we talking about?
Okay, Cups, answer me this. When Pluto
No,
was
no,
still a
bro,
nigga.
no.
Fuck that.
I've let you
Before
talk. No, I've let you
2014.
rebut. I've
Before
let you rebut. No, I have
2014,
let
One
you
who
mic.
was
rebut.
listening to Pluto?
I
Who
have
was
let you
listening to
rebut.
Astroworld?
Let
I
him cook.
let you
him cook.
rebut.
Jack, let him cook.
I let you rebut. Same damn time. Matter of fact, when me at same damn time came out. First of all, Tony Montana came out
There
in
you go. Wake up, my
2010,
guy.
right? We haven't even got to goddamn astronaut status. When Tony Montana came out,
What song is that?
niggas was trying to hate on that Joe so hard, bro. I didn't even
It
like
was,
Tony
dog.
Montana. I can admit to you, I didn't like that shit. Then he came out not
And when did it get hot?
listen. He came out with Same Damn Time. Once Same Damn Time came out, that's when the streets was flooded. And after that, after 2011, you can't name one summer where there was a blockbuster song on the radio that Future was not a part of. We still haven't even talked about him getting to his actual first prime as a solo artist, bro. We still haven't even got to, but before he dropped Monster, we talking about Woke Up in a New Bugatti. We talking about Karate Chop. We
Get him,
talking
Chuck,
about
get him,
goddamn.
Nobody knew
Get him,
Karate Chop.
get him.
I'll let you get Bugatti off. I'll let you get Bugatti off. Nobody knew Karate
I've
Chop.
never
Cut it
heard
out.
that song in my life.
Fans knew that.
And then we're talking
Keep going.
about
No.
and then we
Keep
I'm
going.
on that good cushion alcohol. Come on, what
Why
are
did I
we
hear
Look, we didn't
that?
talk
talking
about
I
56
forgot
his
that.
night yet.
about?
I forgot that one.
March Madness?
We talk about we
Come
haven't
on,
even
man.
got to the
What are we
trio,
talking
bro.
about, man?
We gotta chill. But, no,
Now,
but I'm
Cubs.
talking
Now,
about
Cubs, what did I
2015.
just say before you went on this
I'm
rant?
talking
What
about,
did I just say before you went on this rant?
but it's Tony
I said
Montana
Future was
and
not a big
same
name
damn
until
time.
2014.
Same damn time was that, but he was a prominent factor though. When I was in college from 2012
No.
to 2013. Woke up in a new Bugatti
No.
was a
Our
smash
discussion
hit,
started
gang.
with 2-5 saying Future.
He was
I mean,
listing
not
off the
Future.
people from that.
Our discussion started with 2-5 saying that Wale was not a big deal, and I argued that it was Wale, Big Sean,
You said
Kendrick,
mainstream.
Drake, and Meek Mill.
And Wale
Right?
was
And
still
then
at the
you
bottom
said we
of
got to
that
throw
list.
Future in there. No.
He was in
You
there,
said
though.
we got to
I
include
feel like
Future.
bro was in
Before
there.
2014, before 2014, Future did not
But
matter.
same damn time was a smash hit, bro.
As far as
Can't say
those
that.
big names,
You
no,
just cost Jack a
because
game,
you're
man.
not. You're doing this from a fan's perspective,
Jack,
and you're
hold
not
on,
doing
Jack.
it objectively.
Bruh,
Jack,
Jeezy was
speaking,
on the same
Future
damn
was a
time
nobody
remix.
until 2014.
He was on the
He
same
was a
damn time
nobody.
remix, bro. I
Hey,
want Gucci. I want
Future
Berry
and
at
Waka
the
Flocka
same
were at
damn
the
time.
same
That was a
level
smash,
until
bro.
2014.
If that, bro, that joint had to be a crazy hit, bro.
Hey,
It
Jack.
is
Let me
that
look up
crazy.
the
Jack.
stats on that joint.
Hey, Jack.
Future and Waka Flocka were the same level until
My
2014.
Say,
nigga
hey
was doing the
guys,
That
Super
is
Bowl.
a fact.
hey guys.
Hey, Jack, hold on. I'm sorry. Hey, you just got beat. You just got beat
I lost
down.
because of Cups.
I don't know what that
Because of
conversation
Cups.
was not good for you. You just got beat down. Don't
You woke
think
the giant up. The giant got up in it. With a mean choke slam. That was crazy.
They just mollywopped y'all.
21-8.
Sorry.
Yeah,
Hey,
because
go ahead. Keep going. I'm sorry, but no, this is hysterical.
No, that was
Yeah, you
I
got beat
definitely lost
badly. That
because
was
of
terrible.
that. Because Cups is speaking from a fan's perspective, and I'm not trying
But
to
he's
say
not
that
wrong,
Future's
though.
ass, but I feel like Cups hears Future and he automatically assumes that I'm gonna be like all the old niggas that be like, yo, this nigga's not that good, he's not that great. All I'm saying is before 2014, Future was on the come up. He was a nobody. He was a feature nigga, and he had
Okay,
one song
so
that
let's
really
pause-
mattered
let's
That's what I was
nationwide.
saying about the NBA,
I'll
though.
take that.
Unless you kissing ass, you hating.
So stop right there. You said
But-
Well, no,
before
he ain't
what
have to
year?
kiss ass
Hold on,
though.
wait,
But to say that he was a nobody, that's crazy.
It's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. He was in the mix though for sure.
You said what year was that? You said before what year?
I said before
2014.
2014, Future had one song that was
Okay.
nationwide, and everything else was either a feature or it had some other big artist on it. It might have been his song, but it had another
I'll
artist
give you
on it.
that.
Nobody gave a fuck
a
about Future
That's a
until
fair critique. Is
Monster
that a fair
came out.
critique?
I'll give you that
Cups?
jump. We don't wanna
All right, cool.
never end. Bro, come on, bro. My nigga had hits, dog.
What song is that?
That's the Kelly Rowland joint.
Thank you. I know that song, but it wasn't nationwide. He was not a big
Kelly
guy.
Rowland?
Oh my.
Let's not forget about is she in a Beamer? She
Turn
on a
out the
Rico.
lights. I'm looking for her.
That song.
I'm
Nobody
looking
knew that
for her.
song unless you were a fan.
That song was
shit
hard, too.
crazy, bro.
Wale
I've
was
never heard
bigger
these
than
songs
Future.
before in my life. I promise you.
Exactly. That is my point. And I'm not trying to shit on Future because I know Cubs. I
But
get why
no,
Cubs
but
did
I mean,
that.
I
because
feel like
everybody
people
shits
would
on
say
Future
that
like he
though,
never mattered.
as if on the opposite side or as on the inverse, that everybody is inherently accustomed to all of J. Cole's music or all of Wale's music
No,
or
not at
all
all.
of Drake's
Not
music.
at all.
But
No,
but
that's not what I'm
but
saying.
niggas will
What
always
I'm
be like, oh
saying
well, I've
is,
never heard that Future track, as if they'll,
Yeah, because
as if oh well, I was
J.
listening
Cole
to
only
this
had like
Wale
one
shit. That
song.
was a,
no. It's because the difference is you knew who Big Sean was in 2010. He was nationwide. You knew who you knew who J. Cole was
He had Chris Brown on his
nationwide
first
in
record, though.
2010.
His first big smash. Big Sean.
man. Shout out to Wiz Khalifa for putting my nigga on the Cabin Fever joint, bro. I hated Big Sean. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, like Big Sean, he climbed the charts though. Like he was doing this thing. You know, he did. I think he did a joint with Chris Brown too. I did a mixtape. That's how I heard about Chris. That's how I heard about Big Sean. It wasn't even the Kanye shit yet. I didn't even know he was signing good music. That was the same time
I
Tiger.
feel you though. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like
I
Tiger
see
had
you
a nice
though,
little
Jack.
run too. He never really got his due either.
Bro, Tiger was somebody I never understood how that nigga even caught a buzz, bro.
Bruh, Tiger got mad hits, dog.
He does catchy stuff.
He got
I'll
mad.
take-
I mean,
I'll take
big
Lil
records too, dog.
I'm taking a little twist over Tiger, bro.
Nah, you wild.
I have no idea who that is.
You wild. A little twist. That nigga. I don't think he had one hit. At least I got one. He had Rack City.
Is Big Sean the only big? Why everybody want to be Lil?
I don't know.
I mean,
Sean Connery.
we got Big Pun. We got
No, I'm talking about like currently.
I don't know.
who is
Like everybody is Lil Tay or Lil, like Lil this or Lil that.
Rest in peace, my nigga Big. Rest in peace, my nigga Big Star.
I have no idea who
R.I.P. my
that
nigga
is.
I don't know
Star.
that either.
Yeah, Big Star. Yeah, my nigga from Memphis. Hey, it's all good though.
He passed on?
Supposed to be in there bumping that Daystar.
Yeah, he overdosed. Oh yeah, bro, you already know me. You know what I'm saying? Hey, shout out to well, no, not on the hot box, but definitely shout out to Peterson. You know,
They got to free my nigga Daystar too.
in the booth. That's shout out. Yeah, shout out to Daystar in the booth. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my dog. All the music that he got going on. I would definitely.
I mean, this the fact he made an album in jail was crazy, and it sounds so good
Yeah,
too.
no, I mean,
And it went number one.
yeah, no, Jack, I feel your point though. The more, yeah, I mean, you can say bro's on the come, even though bro came up in the Dungeon family. You know what I'm saying? It definitely took a while for bro to break through. Once bro broke through as a prominent artist though.
Yeah, but look, this is the thing. This is literally my fiance just came in here and said the same thing, bro. I'm not sitting here saying that nobody knew him. I'm saying nationwide, when we talk about mainstream artists, we cannot use underground stats to inflate our fandom. I knew Easter Pink and I knew all those songs, right? But however, we knew. Hold on.
And he's also a DJ. That's the other part. Is that Jack is a DJ. Mike, you also a DJ, right? So y'all.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't believe that J. Cole had the same. Y'all putting him in the same category. I think Future had a bigger buzz. J. Cole was struggling to get hits. His first hit was Mr. Nice Watch with Jay-Z.
Yes. And that was not a great song.
It was not a great song. He had to work out for me, John. I mean, he was struggling to make a hit. He didn't really come up into the second album.
Workout made him a nationwide star.
But again, that's because it was a sample. Like the song wasn't a good song.
Mike, we can't move the goalposts. Bottom line, he had a hit that
made him a nationwide star.
That baby's crying.
So is Wale.
Don't deal with that baby, man.
Like real talk, man. Like I think Future was in that jump. I'm not gonna sit up here and say that he was on the come up. No. At the same damn time, it was one of the biggest records in the country.
Yeah.
I'm not poo-pooing over that shit. I don't know. Bro. You're not about to compare the same damn time to fucking workout.
That joint was everywhere. Yeah, I'm just man. Yeah, like you said, bro. In the workout for me, Joe, everybody was hyped because that was like you said, the little Kanye jump. I mean, I guess the hook was cool.
Yeah,
we got a good thing.
He had a
that's when I was out on J. Cole. I was like, you can't be up in my car talking Paula Abdul.
Yeah, that was
exactly.
That wasn't great.
And he had a joint with El Varner. He was featured on Miguel album. He was featured on Wale's first album. They were pushing J. Cole like
J. Cole got popular off of the mixtapes though.
He did, and the second album, Crooked Smile. That was the song that took him to the next level.
Yeah, Crooked Smile was on the second album. No, Crooked Smile was on Born Center.
Oh,
yeah, second album.
Yeah,
I actually didn't like.
On the second album, yeah.
I didn't become somebody that decided like, oh, I might actually go and listen to a J. Cole project until I heard Power Trip. Once I heard Power Trip, I was like, J. Cole might not be that bad.
I'll be honest with you guys. I didn't listen to J. Cole until 2014 Forest Hills Drive.
I feel you. He wasn't that good.
I didn't.
I agree with you 100%.
So to me, 2014 Forest Hill Drive was the first time where I said, oh, he's one of them.
Yeah. Me too.
And so for me, that's a different conversation than I think the one that we're having in terms of like
I think it is
mainstream artists. Like that's when I was like, oh, this is because you knew that Jay-Z believed in him, and there was a reason that he put so much behind him, like, oh, he's gonna be the next one or whatever. But I never like heard him and was like when I heard So Far Gone, like to me, the first time I heard So Far Gone, I was like, yo, this kid's different. When the first time I heard Section 80, I said, this kid's different.
Yeah.
My first time hearing Cole, I was like, yeah, this is cool, but 2014 Forest Hill Drive was like, oh.
And then like J. Cole, we went to freestyle on Breakfast Club and shit. Like he would LA Lakers freestyles. That's when I was like, oh shit, no, this nigga really crazy.
Yeah.
But like when he freestyled like, on the Breakfast Club, he had a little tip with Diggy and Tyrese.
Mm-hmm.
If you listen to that freestyle, he went crazy on that shit.
No, when I first heard J. Cole, I was like, you got to pick. You could be Jay or Nas. You can't be both.
But he wasn't. But that's the thing. Like, Mr. Nice Watch was not a song that Jay-Z would have made.
Never. I'm like, why did he even make that shit? I was like, yo, this nigga tripping. Because again,
instead of
people that don't even heard that song before.
On his first album too. Like, think about Jay-Z's first album. Jay-Z's first album was Reasonable Doubt. There are no singles on Reasonable Doubt.
But that's what that goes back to the Noah Lyles thing though. Like, I gotta reach to do something to stay in your psyche.
But he didn't.
He didn't have to do that.
No, but that was his attempt. It failed.
So Born. So to me, Born Center is the first really good, like the first good. Like I don't like Sideline Story. It's not my jam at all. Like I'm not a big fan.
It's because because nobody likes any album that J. Cole came out with before 2014 Forest Hills Drive, unless you're a gay.
Born Center was fire.
Born Center was a good album. It's just
Born Center was all right.
Took a little trip.
Born Center had
Straight to the gun.
like the misses on Born Center were really bad, right? But like he did have Power Trip on Born Center. He had like songs that would stay with you on Born Center. 2014 Forest Hill Drive, he was rapping.
Yes,
and
exactly.
He didn't reach for anything on 2014. It's the first album that sounds like, oh, this dude knows who he is.
And that goes back to what 2-5 said. The warm up, he was rapping on that shit. Like the mixtape, he was rapping. Then it's like he got to
be the best technical rapper. He might be.
That's why I never understood why he got pussy for with Kendrick. Like, bruh, you ain't really gotta mean that shit. Like I watched Ice Cube dismantle NWA. And go back and do tours with these niggas.
Oh, no,
look down for DJ Yellow when he was homeless.
The reason that J. Cole backed out of the conversation is because he had a conversation with Schoolboy Q, and he knew that the battle was not going to go for lyrical.
It wasn't going to be a hip hop, hippity hop.
It was going to go for the gusto, and they were going to try to take Drake down, and they knew that, so he had to back out.
So he was afraid of what now? He was afraid of that. What happened?
He didn't want it to get. He knew it was going to get messy, and he was trying to just rap like, "Yo, I'm the better rapper than you." They were trying to do you beating on your wife and you touch kids.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying.
It wasn't going to be.
He was like,
"Nah." That's my gripe too with Kendrick. I think Kendrick does a lot of grandstanding, but then you still supporting gangbang culture. That's really a detriment to our community.
But I also think that J. Cole was looking at it as like, I really fuck with y'all. Like this ain't
real
rap.
Life, y'all are my
like,
friends.
Yeah, like so like if we was doing something like hypothetically, right? Let's just say like you were like, hey, y'all, I'm gonna shit on Sports Reports as ordered so we could get some clicks and get some buzz, and I'd be like, all right, I'm gonna talk some shit. We wouldn't mean it though. Like you'd be like, yeah, they be doing their logical thing over there, but you know, said come here for the real shit. And
man,
then I might say,
y'all so much. My part wouldn't allow me to do some shit like that.
No. I'm just making a point though.
I'd hype it up in the comment section.
And then if I was to be like, yo, one mic, you know, whatever. But then if somebody was like, yeah, you know, and 2-5 was out here like touching on these little white girls at the bars, like hold on,
insulting your wife.
Like, yeah, that's crazy shit.
Talking about dog.
That's crazy shit. Yeah, that's crazy.
So J. Cole is like, yo, Kendrick, and what was it, 7 Minute Drill? He's like, my album is better than yours. Like, you know, like you got that Grammy, and you said you ain't fuck with white people or whatever. You got that Grammy, and now all of a sudden, like, that's like inbound stuff.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Kendrick is like A minor, and Drake is out here talking about like, are you beating on Whitney because she bigger than you and all this kind of shit? Like
that's why I feel like them niggas should have just fought. Like that's why I think Drake stopped rapping. It's like, bruh, you obviously just don't like me as a person.
No, Drake stopped rapping. No, Drake stopped rapping because he ain't have nothing else to say.
And
that too.
I would have loved to see them.
But Drake did rap the last joint though. Technically, Kenny never responded.
No,
let's not forget that.
Drake, Drake said,
let's not forget that Drake dropped the last record.
No, you know what? No, you know what Drake
dropped
did?
so he could quit. It was a quitting.
You know what Drake did? You know what Drake did? You ever argue with a woman and she say something like, "Who hurt you?" Or like, "Why you hate women?" That's what Drake did.
Oh god.
Yeah, that's one that I can't. Yeah,
Drake literally said, I'm not even rap. This ain't even fun no more, man. Go ahead."
He said, "I'm done. It was good."
But is he not right though?
And then he
is he not right though?
Like,
no,
He even lied and was like, "Oh yeah, I feel sorry for you because you got molested." That song wasn't even about Kendrick.
He said, I know you got 10 or 11 more songs about me, so you can go ahead and release
He said,
those.
"Ooh, I know that hurt though, mother, mother,
That was horrible.
That was
horrible,
bro.
It's hilarious.
You put on Mariah Carey, touch me and get your feelings.
It would be hilarious if the song was about Kendrick. It would be hilarious, but the song wasn't even about Kendrick. So it just showed in that beef that Kendrick is dissecting you by using like your stuff against you, saying certain
Well, that's
things.
what I'm saying, though.
You're just reaching and saying things. And
I do agree. I do agree, and I think that's what I think Drake didn't realize is like, bro, you can't be the guy to say, you know, in 2007 I with Lindsay Ann, I fucked up and bought her a fake bag. Like, nigga, the nigga's hearing you rap. So Kendrick is keeping everything to the vest. He don't really say anything a lot about his life like that.
No,
you know, it's better every now and then, but it's not anything that's gonna really like, you know, put a stain on his jacket. But for Drake, he's had a lot of that.
Hold up, time out, real
that's
quick.
my thing.
Somebody in 5 seconds tell me who the fuck Big X the Plug is.
I'm the biggest. Let me change my voice.
Hey, don't disrespect Big X the Plug.
No, I'm just asking.
Shout out to Texas.
I'm old. I never listened to it. Don't be disrespectful.
I don't know who he is, bro. I'm just asking a question.
That's man's, right?
Why we can't ask questions no more, Tuvav? I'm confused.
Because
you got offended about the streamers. I didn't say the niggas couldn't do what they was doing. I just don't know what the fuck they are.
Is he from San Antonio?
No, he's from Houston.
I don't think they're important.
The point is,
fuck them niggas.
He's a phenomenal rapper, but y'all are about to sit up here and say
no. I was asking who he was because I don't know who he is.
We just want to know who the guy is.
Is it the biggest, the largest guy?
Hold up. But see, it comes back full circle, right? You either kissing ass or you a hater.
That's it.
No, that's not what I said.
That's exactly
what I said was you were about to. Rajon was about to shit on him.
I know one song of his.
You don't know who he is.
We don't know this nigga. Who are these niggas?
I can't give you.
Who are these niggas?
No, because earlier I said, is everybody Lil Why no other bigs out here? Lethal said Big X the Plug, and I said, who's Big X the Plug?
Oh, okay.
Well, the butt plug. What the fuck is this?
They got
100%.
They gotta relax.
Like J. Cole.
Anyway,
J. Cole.
2-5. Earlier, you said Wale never had a big place or he wasn't mainstream, and I just wanted to say when Wale came out with the Ambition album in 2012, he arguably was.
I do agree.
Big three.
I do agree. That album was fire.
He was just
on. No, the album was fire, but I don't think that.
He was bigger than Big Sean. J. Cole.
That album was absolutely fire. But I still
it was him getting with MMG it up.
It was.
Exactly.
But I still don't think the way that we talk about J. Cole and them today, I don't think we were talking about Wale like that at that time. Like we knew that.
I don't even know if he had that trajectory.
We knew that he was a great rapper. We knew that he was a great rapper and stuff. But I'm saying that I don't think his name stood out in that way. Like the argument that y'all just had about Future right now or whatever, people weren't talking about Wale in that lens, you know what I'm saying, ever.
I don't think
in
they
2011 and 2012 we were.
That's the point about Wale.
Because the thing is that you have to remember back then is that all of these niggas are rookies.
What is going on?
Wale was like the underground.
They were all.
Hey, hold up, pause, hold up. Because look, first of all, look at the stats.
Hey, dog.
Look at the stats.
No, they were all. They were
look at the
all.
stats. What can I do when my teammates are letting niggas score 8 and 6 every game?
Who are you? You're Jack Daddy?
Jack Daddy Dub?
I got murdered this game. But normally it ain't me.
No, but what I'm saying though is that like whenever you heard the name Drake, like when Drake first dropped, whenever you heard the name Drake, people treated him like LeBron early, where they were putting him in conversations like he's up here already. Like before he ever really showed the variety of skill that he has, people were already.
No, he belonged.
It was the funk freestyle.
No, I'm not saying that he didn't. I'm
just
saying people were having those conversations is what I'm saying. Regardless of how you feel about it, they were having those conversations.
I can't say a bad word.
When Kendrick came out, maybe not necessarily Section 80, but after that, like people were like, "Yo, Kendrick is coming for the crown." People like, you know what I mean? Whatever, like.
Kendrick, so look, Kendrick didn't matter. Kendrick didn't matter until Good Kid, Mad City came out. And when Good Kid, no, that is a fact because look, the Section 80 thing is the same thing that I was arguing with Cups about Future.
I agree with that.
Niggas knew Section 80, but he was not big.
Yeah, people recognize that Section 80 was a great album, but he wasn't getting that.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The Club Paradise tour.
Because you have to get, but you have to get.
Kendrick didn't get hot until Good Kid, Mad City. That's when
correct. That's what we're saying. That's what we're saying.
Yeah, you have to get the exposure to be able to do it. So you had to be able to be seen on a large enough scale to where like your art has an opportunity to shine through. But the art from day one,
the art was always there.
Like
it's not until Drake took him on tour.
I'm not arguing about Wale. That's what I'm saying about Wale. I'm arguing popularity.
Yeah,
but people didn't look at, in my opinion. People weren't talking about Wale. Like when you were talking about, rap music, who's going to lead the rap game into the future? People weren't like Wale.
Nah.
There were people who did. There were people who did like.
Yes, in 2012.
Looking at me.
And then it was J. Cole and Big Sean that were actually
but check this out though. I still feel like around that time, that's when all the rapper-led labels and stuff like that, or like getting with teams. And like I said earlier, I feel like Wale was the only one who still chose. So like J. Cole was doing his own thing. Kendrick Lamar was doing his own thing.
Yeah.
Wale was somebody they had to go find and literally put on, bro. Ross and what's his name had to, I'm not saying like give him a leg up, but it's like he signed with them because he felt like he couldn't do that shit.
No, he had Lady Gaga on his first record. Like, y'all not gonna wild out. He had Pharrell on his first album.
Dog, Wale was touching so many parts of the game, like dead serious, like and
he was on No Hands. He was doing
why he's as jaded by the industry as he is now. Because like, dog, he's like the people that y'all lift up. Like, I was here before them. And when y'all were hyping them, like I was doing better than them. Y'all just talking about me.
Right.
He had J. Cole on his first album. Nobody even heard J. Cole.
I'm not saying that Wale didn't have a spot, didn't deserve a spot or any of that. I'm just saying that I don't think he was ever viewed the way that they are.
That's all I was saying. Wale fan.
Huh?
Bro, hey, and that's it's funny, Rez. That's why I'm saying that because in 2012, nigga, I was like, Wale is
I fuck with Wale, bro.
You're a diehard Wale fan,
you're talking about you.
Yes, I listened to Ambition. I listened to The Gifted. I listened to the MMG All-Star album. I listened to the Wale mixtape that he came out with that year.
But you don't.
But you're talking about yourself anecdotally. I'm talking about the masses.
Right. You don't treat. But even just to my point, like you don't treat somebody disrespecting like the legacy of Wale like Cups treats somebody disrespecting the legacy of Future, or how Mike somebody tried to disrespect the legacy of Nas, or how I would feel if you tried to disrespect like the legacy of either Kendrick or Jay-Z. Like I would wild out.
But the reason for that is. The reason I don't is because I like to be objective when it comes to that kind of stuff.
I try to be objective, and I don't know those motherfuckers.
No.
Yeah, and the thing is, at the end of the day,
I know
at the end of the day, it was Drake.
That's my point.
It was Drake and Kendrick, and then it was everybody else.
I'm still beating the drum about Joe Budden. I don't give a fuck.
Yep.
Real talk.
Mood music.
I respect that.
Joe Budden is one of the best rappers I ever heard. I don't give a fuck.
No love lost.
Real talk. I respect it. Well, we do know that Kendrick never really got on until Drake put him on tour too. So that makes you give Drake credit.
Club Paradise changed his life.
That's why I say when Good Kid came out, that's when Kendrick solidified his spot as number 2.
But he had a couple jumps with Dr. Dre too. Before that too, a couple singles dropped with Dr. Dre that really kind of gave him that look.
Right. His name didn't ring bells until
I don't give a
fuck.
Joe Budden is that dude.
He is.
He is. I agree with you.
Joe Budden is the architect.
Hey, but you know what? No hip hop head debates if Joe Budden.
Yeah.
Yes, they do.
Hip hop heads do not. Real hip hop heads
respect.
Joseph, man, Joseph was crazy though.
If people talk about Joe Budden, you would think they was talking about John Starks.
Joe Budden's
because they're not hip hop heads. Those are niggas that like rap. No, they're not hip hop heads. Hip hop heads respect the shit.
Yeah, seriously.
Real rappers like respect Joe Budden's pen. Like they don't play with that. Like
that nigga, yo.
Yeah, nah.
Joseph is crazy, bro. Joseph, man, is so introspective. Like what? I mean, I think it was one I would always love is when he freestyled on BET. Let alone the Clue tapes. I wish I kept them shit. But like them BET ciphers, dog. My nigga used to be surgical on that shit, especially with the joint he did with Eminem.
Yeah,
that shit was crazy, dog.
Yo, did
him, Kendrick, him, Kendrick, and K Dot probably had K Dot, my bad. Him, Kendrick, and Kanye's
Yeah.
music one are probably
Yeah, they up there.
Yes.
I thought Royce the 5'9" was about to jump off until Lupe got a hold of him.
Yeah, Lupe
Yeah, me
did him
too.
dirty. Lupe did
Now
him
Royce
dirty.
the 5'9" is another person that had a amazing. He's an amazing talent, but
but he was just. I thought he was just about to reach that or start ascending to that higher level, and then Lupe got a hold of him, and everybody was like, "Go back home, Royce."
Oh,
yeah, man, because Lupe different, bro.
I have an intersectional question.
You should never sign a Lupe.
I have an intersectional
anyway.
question. So we were talking about ring culture earlier, and now we're on like hip hop. What do you think for like hip hop and rap is like the same the equivalent of like, oh, you didn't win a ring, so you're not that great? What would that be for hip hop?
Whenever we talk about music, and Mike say stuff like, "How many #1 records he got?"
#1 records, okay. #1 records.
Record sales and money. That's it. Niggas love saying, "Oh, he sucks."
Because again, at one point, that was the criteria.
What did you say? You say Cups?
How many times did you have the club on Smash?
Oh, club on Smash.
See, that don't matter to me. I don't go to the club, so that don't matter. To me.
You can't use that because lyrical rappers are not going to be in the Nas and Eminem are not in the club.
When the last time
you can hate me now, but I won't stop, man.
Nigga, ain't nobody listening.
When the last time you was
You can hate me now.
Lupe Fiasco's not getting the club on Smash.
Just like the #1 thing that I hate, is when you talk about how you like a certain rapper and they say, "Don't nobody play that in their car." I don't give a fuck what you play in your car.
I don't care what you play in your car.
Yeah, I thought I was the only one that said that shit, and I realized I wasn't the only one that said that.
I don't give a fuck what you play in your car, because that tells me that you listening to like the Sonic. You're listening to sonically. I'm listening to the lyrics, and that's all I care about.
Yeah, nah.
Same here.
Exactly.
I think you gotta have both.
Same exact conversation I just had. My homeboy was like, "I gotta put Lil Wayne in the same context as Eminem," and I'm like, Eminem is still dropping great albums. I don't give a fuck what the masses say.
Argument depending on what he's trying to say.
He's saying that a nigga is just on there rapping the rap. But I'm like, did you listen to did you listen to the Shady whatever he came out with? The Death of Shady? Yeah, or did you listen to Music to Be Murdered By? Eminem is not rapping to rap. He's still giving you concept albums that make sense. Lil Wayne is just on there rapping like to
Lil
rap.
Wayne,
it is two totally different
both
things.
do the I rap about how good of a rapper I am. A lot of their rap,
but Eminem can still.
I think that Eminem is the best rhymer of all time. He's not the best rapper of all time.
Oh yeah, he can rhyme words.
Because rappers come with substance. Rappers come with something that's gonna appeal to, most people that's in a situation where it's, I'm not gonna say urban, but it's gonna be applicable.
That's how I look at people like Crooked Eye. That's how I look at people like Crooked Eye. Like, you don't want to follow him on a track.
No.
You know what I'm saying? But he ain't going to never be a star. Like, you know what I'm saying? He ain't
not at all.
Credit for how good his ability is, because
him and Ortiz, they both can rap.
But back to your Lionel Richie point, he's never going to reach those people.
No, and I like all of Lionel Richie shit. Don't get it fucked up. I got every Lionel Richie album he came out with after the fact. But I just felt like he was such on fire. And the same thing was like Harold Melvin and the Blue Notes. I know I'm dating myself, but when Teddy left Harold Melvin, you couldn't at that time tell niggas that Harold Melvin was the best nigga ever. But Teddy was really the star.
Harold Melvin didn't sing lead.
He sung lead on a couple songs though.
Yeah. It was Teddy, and when Teddy
it
left,
was Teddy.
it was
So
over.
like,
It was a rap.
Yeah. So like, to me, it's like when you expand. Yeah, drummer. So when you leave yourself in that predicament, it's like, damn, like what happened to them niggas? Like when B2, like I'll give you a perfect example. I always say this, and I love this story. I love when No Edition, when Bobby, Johnny, and Ralph left. BBD was left to this beat. It wasn't even a BBD. They invented a BBD.
Right. That
just showed their talent level and skill level. Look at when Memorial left B2K. What the fuck did them niggas do?
Nothing.
Zero.
You know what happened? Like, you know what they did? That dang on boy Romeo released a album, a solo rap album called Young Rome. And that was the one time I littered the streets of I-26 with a CD.
Let that shit fly out the window.
Down my window and flew that frisbee out my car.
But I think that throughout the years we redefined a lot of things, because, like, for example, when we were growing up, we feel, and some of it is generational bias too, but we felt like, a lot of the music that we listen to is classic. Like, Illmatic is a classic. Reasonable Doubt is considered a classic. All that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got albums like Get Rich or Die Trying that had a lot of good songs, but it had a lot of bullshit in it too.
Mm-hmm.
And people are putting those albums on the same level. And it's like,
agreed. And that goes back to the Deion Sanders joint. It's like, bro, these niggas not in the same category as me. Like, it's a separate room. I mean, with me and Jerry and a bunch and Lawrence Taylor and Joe Montana, you know, like that's a different room. You got guys that's getting in the zone now. It's like you niggas is not in the same level as me. Like that's why I get on a nigga like Asante Samuel. Like nigga, you a borderline Hall of Famer, my nigga. Don't play games like you in the same category as me. I'm just saying how I feel.
Hey, hot take. I think 50 Cent's the most overrated rapper of all time.
He's in the conversation for sure.
Yeah, I mean, I never thought 50 was that good of a rapper. I don't think he thinks he's good. I think he's a hustler. That's one thing I respect about 50. He's a hustler. Yeah, like
no,
a nigga. I don't know who did the interview. Super inspiring because
I'm just trying to
like niggas be like, I'm gonna go home and go get who? Like, I have nobody to go home and go get. It's just me. Like, I can't go get my dad or my uncle, my brother, and like that. I gotta handle business right now. So like, that's the mentality I run with. Even though I do have my father and stuff like that, but I put it on my shoulders, nigga. Fuck that. Just make it happen.
I'm still trying to process this Deion thing.
What'd you say about
Deion and the room?
No, go ahead. Yeah, expand on that, bro.
I mean, I just feel like Deion is in a different category, in my opinion. From a technical sound, like you can go on YouTube now. I think I sent it to you a couple times, where literally you can look at every snap from Deion Sanders in a season. Nigga, somebody broke that shit down. Every single snap. And he's either around the football or it's an interception. That goes from Atlanta, that goes from Dallas, that goes from the 49ers. He tailed off for the Redskins, and then the Ravens came back with a small resurgence. But other than that, secondly, Deion is, again, my favorite corner. Even with the 49ers, I feel like he was still my favorite corner. Like,
I don't know if, just relatively speaking to the other people that you brought up, I don't know if I can say he's in a room by himself.
Okay. I respect that. Now, I think he's on the lower end of that tier, but I think when it comes to the impact, that goes back to what we talked earlier about the impact.
Right.
You know, them getting paid, the notoriety. Like, cornerbacks weren't getting paid before Deion Sanders.
Right.
He invented he made cornerback a thing. It's like when you did like a left tackle is a thing now. Outside a defensive end is a thing now. So it's like you're gonna have to go pay those guys. You got to go pay that number one corner now. So for that alone, to me, he did a service for those guys. You know, either playing both sides of the ball. You know, you open people's eyes and say, "Oh, damn, you really can't do that." Even though guys did that back in the day easily. You know, they didn't play like Mark Cuban. They played tight end and linebacker. You know, like what's cuz I think they played tight end and linebacker. What's his name? Mike Dicker. Mike Dicker. I think he played tight end and linebacker. I think he played tight end. So you know, I don't know. If you got any pushback, you know.
Well, no, I just think that it's one of those things where obviously what he did from a coverage standpoint probably can't be duplicated. But there's a lot of other things that come with playing the position besides coverage. And you know, and it's like one of those things where when you talk about a rapper, right? It's like I was talking about Crooked I. Like, oh man, like he's so technically skilled and gifted, but he doesn't have the charisma. You know, he doesn't have the beat selection. He doesn't have there's so many other things that go into being a great rapper or whatever that even though he might be technically better than a lot of dudes that we rank higher than him, he doesn't check the other boxes. And that's where with Deion, I'm like, he's got the coverage thing. Like nobody's touching him from a coverage standpoint. But when you add in all the other things that come with being a corner or a defensive player in general, that's where there's a lot to be desired.
Well, I think you're on point with that. I think that Prime, you know, he's a smart dude.
Yeah.
like so I think he never wanted to rid himself of. He didn't want to ever let somebody highlight the fact he had certain deficiencies. So he'll focus on being flamboyant. He'll focus on I play offense. I'm a kick returner. I'm a punt returner. You know.
He's the only dude.
He made people not forget he couldn't tackle.
He's the only dude that didn't play with 100% effort that we let get away with.
He didn't. 100%.
Hey fellas, I'm not trying to cut you off, but while we got the whole panel here, I just want to see who gonna be here for tonight. Is
Jalen Brown.
Oh,
never mind.
Oh, dude.
Since it is Juneteenth, is tonight the official Perry roast?
Ooh,
Tyler Perry?
Juneteenth Tyler Perry roast.
Honestly, me and 2-5 have a date.
Yeah, they do have a date.
So
Oh, but see, you know what? For first and foremost, party.
Pause.
Now we got
Pause.
dates going on. It doesn't even matter. I'll do the roast by myself, guys.
I don't know enough about Tyler Perry to roast him.
Hey, and Jack's getting married October 10th, right? So I mean,
Congratulations.
You know what I'm saying?
Congratulations.
Congrats.
I mean, we might be taking a little trip out to San Antonio.
Okay, yeah, I'm in the building. I mean,
know,
provided that I'm
congratulations.
invited and everything.
Also, I just want to say, Tyler Perry said, "I want to thank y'all for making Divorced Sisters #1, even though it doesn't exist
y'all
yet."
gonna do it. Y'all gonna do it again. He said y'all did it with my other.
Y'all gonna do it again.
If I could just get my son to follow my footsteps on the beach, bro, like
Papa.
Hey,
Papa.
hey, honestly, Cubs, if you want to do it right now, we're already all here. I have no problem.
Well, I'm gonna let y'all have fun with that one. I'm gonna get out of here.
Yeah, I got to roll.
Hey, whose kids called them Papa?
Nobody
That's
since
a grandpa.
1962.
You call your grandpa. You call your grandpa
What kind of man
Papa.
has his kids call him Papa?
That's tough.
What kind of man has
What kind of
relations
3-year-old
with other men?
like is trying to walk like acknowledging that they walking in their daddy's footsteps instead of acknowledging their own footsteps?
What kind of man has listened to other man?
Bruh.
Like those 3-year-olds are looking at their own footsteps.
Uh,
I just want to know what 3-year-old is so introspective. He says,
Papa.
"Look, Daddy,
No,
I'm
Papa.
walking in
Look,
your
Papa.
footsteps." Oh yeah, Papa.
I'm
Papa.
following.
Yeah, fellas.
Hey,
man.
look, that's why when all
I
these,
haven't
that's why when all
watched
these
the, I
zesty
haven't
text
watched the
messages
Tyler
came
Perry
out,
movie since The Family That Prays, so I have no idea what's been going on.
that is the greatest Tyler Perry movie of all time because it has a plot, it has a
Sanaa
beginning,
Lathan.
it has a middle.
Daddy's
And
Little
the
Girls-
and
Daddy's
the
Little
racist
Girls is my movie.
stereotypes
Oh,
are
yeah.
overwhelming and fucking cringy.
There are none in that movie.
That's
Look,
what I'm
Daddy's
saying.
Little Girls is a good movie too.
Daddy's Little Girl is my favorite. Is my
And I feel like we know what that's about. Tyler Perry, he's been called. They made sure he's not gonna make any movies like that ever again.
Yeah, Lindsay's been trying to get me to watch that movie, but I haven't
So
watched
what is the movie?
Hey, I'll tell you right now, Daddy's Little Girls
No,
is a
it's
terrible
not.
movie, and I would love to destroy that
No,
for y'all.
Daddy's
if you
Little
would
Girls
like.
is not
It's a great
terrible
movie.
It's a great movie.
No, it's terrible.
It's a great movie.
It's a terrible movie. I can break it down. It's
Can
a
you do it in
terrible
Okay, so
movie.
we're gonna
will never
table
like
it for the
that movie
Perry
again.
roast. We're gonna table it for the Perry roast.
No. I'm saying we could table it, but I'm just letting you know, like I'm
All right,
going
I
to
want to
destroy
hear
that
this
movie
because
I hate
Lindsay's
it.
been trying to
and
get
I
me to
want all
watch it
black
for
men
about
to
2 years
shit
now.
It's a good movie though. Real talk.
I needed to see Daddy's Little Girls when I saw it. It spoke directly to my situation.
I'm just happy black
Okay,
men
now
got represented in a great way on film. So I don't really give a shit.
The
about other
dark-skinned
black
black man was
I've
finally
only
not the evil
seen-
person in the movie.
I think total I've seen about 4 Tyler Perry movies.
I've seen the
You're a
Why Did I
lucky
Get
man.
Married?
Alex Paul. He had a lot of diverse
I
movies.
didn't even see that. I
Before
saw
Hey,
what was
Alex
the one
Cross
with
is dog
Shamar
shit.
Moore?
A Woman That Are
I
Losing.
saw that one.
But
No,
that was
it's not. No, it's not it. The one that has Shamar Moore is the one where she
The one where the husband got paralyzed.
Die of a Mad Black.
I was about to say
Woman.
that was the man.
Yeah, that one. I saw
Yeah,
that.
I think that's right. Yeah, you're right.
I saw that.
I
I
didn't see
saw
that
The
one.
Family That Prays.
I saw The Family that
It's a good one. It's a good one. Family Praise is a good one.
I saw Daddy's Little Girls. I
I
saw.
didn't see that.
I saw Family Reunion
Didn't
with
I did see
Tiana
Family
Taylor.
Reunion.
He did
No,
Why
I
Did I Get
didn't see
Married,
Family
right?
Reunion.
Yes, Why Did I
both
Get
of
Yeah,
those.
Married and
yeah,
Why
and I
Did I
saw
Get
both
Married
Why
too.
Did I Get Married.
I
That's
saw
it.
those are the ones I saw.
I
No.
thought that
Color
was
Girl.
I didn't see that either.
Oh no, man. I'm thinking about Steve Harvey John. My fault.
No, you thinking Think Like a Man?
That's
Yeah, my
Yeah,
fault.
no,
Yeah,
I saw both Why Did I Get Married.
Yeah. I
The
saw
second one
both
was
of them. Those
terrible.
are the 4 Tyler Perry movies that I saw.
All right,
All
gents,
right,
we
so
getting
yeah,
a
the
little
roast
ahead
is
of
later.
ourselves, man. We gotta save this jump for the night, man. For the official.
I think I'm good for the night. Cubs.
Yeah,
I know we
I'll
got-
be in the building.
Hey, what
I
time
know
does
we
game
gotta,
start though? Hold on. Let me see what time
finals
the game
game,
starts.
yeah.
8:30.
We got fun.
2-5. I don't know. I
The
ain't
game
gonna lie
start,
to you.
all right, so the
I have no
game
idea.
starts at 7:30 for us, Jack.
Okay, so 2-5. Where do you want to
You
go?
told me about that arcade joint.
And fucking arcading.
Y'all wearing matching
I mean, we ain't
clothes?
got to play the arcade, but I mean, I'm just
That's
saying.
Y'all better match your clothes. Match out.
Yeah, you feel me? Matching Nike
Well,
suits
no,
and shit. Y'all gonna have
it's
matching
Big
Nike
one,
suits.
big
2-5
two.
lives by me.
Who's bringing the
somewhere-
course
Well, no, I was
size?
gonna say
somewhere that has
he lives by me, so we could probably
matching
go
Adidas suits?
somewhere closer.
Who's bringing the
Adidas jumpers?
corsage?
You know what I'm saying?
Matching Kangos. No.
I'll bring the
Hey, you know what?
you know what I'm saying?
25, we gotta make sure we take pictures.
Because
and send
I'll
them.
bring the corsage because he's showing off the traps and everything.
Oh, that's true. He's showing skin. He's showing
So,
skin.
you know what I'm saying? He gave us a little skin, then he took it on back.
He did. It's true. It's true.
You know.
Hey, make sure y'all Photoshop me into the photo, man. Just
Yeah, definitely.
You know what?
playing
We
pool
don't
in the
reach
background or
that guy. I mean, Rez hit that joke. We don't reach that guy.
I don't got that one no more. Hold on,
We gotta party up for the wedding though.
Hold on, give me one second. Let me get that.
Oh yeah,
I'm invited to the wedding
Ready?
and everything.
Ready?
All right, hold on. Wait, sign.
1, 2, 3.
We don't reach that guy. Damn.
Thank you. All right, cool. We'll have that for the future. Thank you, sir.
No, I'm saying, yeah, that's the Cain of the Apollo. When you hear that guy there, that's somebody.
Sandman coming to get your ass.
You know what I'm saying? And I will have y'all know that I'm gonna watch Sinners tonight.
Finally?
Is that for the first time?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Welcome
Yeah, I
to the
haven't
fucking
watched
party.
it either.
Wait, hold on. This your first
I haven't
time?
seen it yet.
I ain't watching it either.
Hey, I'm excited. I'm excited for you
It's a
because the
great
movie's
movie.
amazing.
It's a
And
great
anybody who
movie.
says it
Yeah,
isn't,
I'm gonna
is a
watch
coon.
and then tomorrow after Sports Reports is ordered, I'm gonna watch Oppenheimer.
Hold on. 2 o'clock in the morning, you gonna watch something?
Yeah, I'm gonna watch. I got to watch Home Alone.
Hey,
Oh, you're
25.
right.
I'm gonna be honest with you. 25. I'm gonna be honest. You need to find another movie to
Dog.
watch at 2 a.m.
Y'all,
Oppenheimer is
no,
not
dog,
built for that.
You have
Oppenheimer
y'all
is
have
a
to
good
start
watch.
doing pods earlier, dog.
No, they've been popping earlier though.
No, I'm not saying that, Cups. I'm not saying it's not a good watch. I'm
They've
saying
been
at
popping
2
like
a.m.
9:30 recently.
And
Oppenheimer
then
is
Saturday,
cool.
I'm gonna watch Thunderbolts.
Dog,
Hey, that shit is
binge
actually
watch
good, but a lot of people are mad at it.
Well, I
Watch
am.
movies.
I'm actually watching White Lotus.
Oh, White Lotus is my jam. What
No,
season
hey,
are you
hold
on?
on.
I'm in the middle of season 2 right now.
Okay, good season.
Hey, Rez, what's your beef with the movie?
I'm not a big movie person now. I'll binge watch TV shows. When me and Tony were in Asheville, we watched the full season of You. And then we watched
The first two
well,
seasons.
the
are really
last
good.
season really pissed me off. And if you watch Pursuit of Forever, you know why. But they just made Joe became a domestic abuser, dog. Like it was really bad. Like he went from dude just loves love to like punching women in the face. I was like,
Oh,
Lord,
Lord.
this is crazy, dog.
Hey,
What the
He
what?
evolved.
on my
He
flight-
just got
on
to
my
his final
flight-
form.
on
Long
my
hair and a
flight to
beard.
Baltimore the other day, I started House of Dragon.
This is good
Okay,
television.
now
See,
we
missing out
talking.
on dope
See,
stuff.
now we
Do
talking
you have
about
Apple
something
Plus?
that
Do you have
matters.
Apple Plus?
Yeah.
Dog, watch Dark
Severance.
Matter.
Okay.
Okay,
Does it involve
but
the
watch Severance
Jizza?
too.
No, the Jizz is not in Dark Matter.
Okay.
Watch that Will Smith Slave movie too. No.
No,
don't watch
I'm
it.
dead.
No, don't watch
more.
that.
No, watch
That's his
Severance.
ass.
After Django, I'm done with slave movies.
Severance. Watch Severance.
I don't like when people put Django in the
Watch
slavery movie
Severance.
category.
Watch Dark Matter.
That's the
Watch
abolition movie.
The morning show.
The what show?
The morning show.
Okay.
Watch that. Watch
And Severance.
if you want to watch a movie, The Beanie Baby. The Beanie Bubble.
Okay.
Dog.
Is that about the
It's-
Beanie
Oh,
Babies?
I started Paradise too.
Paradise is fire. See, this is
Yeah.
good television.
Paradise with my dude from Black Panther,
Yeah, except
the good actor, the black dude.
Sterling K. Williams.
Yeah, I started
Oh,
that.
There
yeah,
you go.
Sterling is sick, yo.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
started
he's
that.
I didn't like
And then
the last
I
episode,
finally
but-
finished. Damn, what is it called? I lost the name of the soccer show.
Not Will Sasso. You talking about on Wrexham?
It's on Apple. Ted Lasso.
Oh, Ted Lasso.
Yeah, I finished,
Yo.
I like Ted Lasso.
yeah, I just finished that.
Have y'all watched
I'm
Landman?
mad that
Landman? No, I haven't. Is it
acting
on
like
Paramount?
Severance is not fire.
Well, Landman?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on Prime.
I heard that's
It's
real
on
good.
Prime?
Prime is fire. Yeah, that's a good show.
And
I
then,
have Prime. I can watch
I got
that.
like mad Prime Jones. I can watch show.
and then
Hey, do you watch
no,
The Boys?
that's what I was just about to say. Next weekend, I'm starting The Boys.
The Boys
I
is
heard that was the
fire.
I
best.
love
Boys
the boys.
The
I
Boys
finished
is
the
dope.
boys.
What's the point about?
Pause
And
all
if you
that.
got, since we're on Prime, you need to
Pause
watch
all
Invincible
that. I'm
too.
not watching The Boys. Cups didn't love The Boys. Pause all that.
Oh, dip.
I love the boys.
Oh,
I
he
love
doubled
the
down on that.
Oh,
He doubled down on
Is he
that.
double
That
down on
whole
loving the
45
boys?
hey, say that again. Say
Hold
that
on.
again.
Hold
Say
on,
it
wait,
again.
Wait, please.
I
Please
took-
let me
I took-
record you saying I love the boys. Please.
Say it again. Say it
This
again,
guy.
please.
Have y'all seen the boys? I love the
Have
boys.
y'all seen the boys? I love the boys.
Hold on 1 second. Hold 1 second before you say it. Please. How do you feel about the boys, Cups?
Have you seen the boys?
How do you feel about it, Cups?
I love the boys. I took the boys. I took the boys for 5 seasons. 5 long seasons.
Oh, shit.
Oh, damn.
That is hilarious,
Shout out,
dog.
and shout out to Lionel Richie because Mike ain't want to acknowledge that man got his daughter a show.
No, I'm happy he got his daughter a show.
Yo.
And his daughter was way more famous than what's the other girl she was with?
Paris
Paris Hilton.
Yo, hold on.
I love the boys.
That's hot.
Man, yo, Dancing on the Ceiling was my favorite song.
Oh my
Say
god.
we're dancing on the
Nah,
ceiling.
honestly,
All right, y'all. For real, I gotta go.
honestly,
Y'all, for real.
The boys is a fire show. But yeah, all
You
right.
gotta play that when you have a cowboy singing. I love the boys.
Hit that dog for us, Reyes.
All right, y'all.
All right, 2-5.
We don't reach that goddamn 2-hour and 50-minute mark in this motherfucking Juneteenth lunchbox special. You already know I've been Styrofoam Rob. You can catch the motherfucking hot box every Sunday, Monday, Thursday, and Friday. Catch us again tonight for the Thursday smoke rally. Also, I don't know if we're gonna be doing the Perry roast, but still tune in anyway, just in case we do that. You already know I have my dog El Residente, San Jose, representing live on the motherfucking ones and twos. My dog,
Hey,
Radical
you
Jack,
guys.
DJ Cactus Jack, reporting live
Man,
on the motherfucking ones.
Hey, today was a bad day.
And my dog, he goes by many names, but we call him One Mike Pod, OVO Mike, Cowboy Mike, Dallas Mike, Dakota Mike, representing live
I love the
on
boys.
the motherfucking ones and twos. Throw the foes up. Throw the
Put the foes up.
motherfucking foes up, man. Like I said, catch us tonight. We rolling the windows down. We letting the smoke out. But above all else,
Aaron Rodgers.
fuck Aaron Rodgers.
Tyler
Fuck
Perry.
Tyler Perry.
Damn,
Rudy
fuck
Gobert.
Kevin Durant.
And fuck Kevin Durant.
Always.
Shout out the future. Shout out the
And
future.
shout out to Super Future, dog. Shout out to Pluto, man. The wizard. You feel
The
me?
wizard, nigga. Meathead.
You feel what I'm talking about? You did, man. I gotta hit that cowboy mic. You did.
You
Feel
did?
me?
What we
man,
talking
catch
about?
us tonight, man. 7 p.m. Smoke with us next time.